Peace and pugilism. What's going on? Peace and pugilism. Pugilist fanatics is Myra Magnus. How y'all feeling tonight? Hope you're feeling great. Hope your day has been beautiful. Hope your day has been awesome. Hope the day has been productive. Above all things, productive. Well, Canelo Alvarez, Caleb Plant, December 19th. Yo, boy. Canelo Alvarez, free from the zone. Canelo Alvarez is free from the zone. Yes, he is. And that's pretty good. It's good for Canelo. You know what I'm saying? And he's finally making the Caleb Plant fight. I wish Canelo was fighting Charlo first. I think Charlo's been calling out Canelo for quite a long time, much longer than Caleb Plant. But I can see why he's calling out Caleb Plant. I definitely can see that. Caleb Plant, I don't think is as hard a puncher as Charlo is. But if you want to join the panel, please come on. Hit the like button and subscribe. Who's in the building? Whoever's in the building, please hit the like button. I appreciate you. I appreciate you dearly. And also, what a beautiful day in the neighborhood it was today. I mean, the weather was gorgeous. I mean, gorgeous. Ain't nothing like the motherfucking fall. I would tell you like that. Ain't nothing like the fall. It was literally beautiful. You know what I mean? The motherfucking fall. I would tell you like that. Ain't nothing like the fall. It was literally. Y'all feel me? Ha 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 ha. What's going on in boxing around the world? Canelo Alvarez to face Caleb Plant on December 19th, 2020. How do I feel about this fight? I feel excited. Really good. I wish in the ideal world it had been Canelo Alvarez versus Billy Joe Saunders. But we always don't get what we want in this world. In the ideal world, it'd be Canelo Alvarez versus Jamal Charlo. But we always don't get what we want in this world. But Canelo Alvarez versus Caleb Plant it's not bad. Not bad at all. I think Billy Joe Saunders, Jamal Charlo poses a bit tougher opposition, or a tougher fight for Canelo than Caleb Plant. But we'll have to wait and see. Caleb Plant is a very good fighter. Very good fighter. Hit the like button. Whether you're on Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, hit the like button. One love. Killer Plant is an awesome fighter. Very good. Great, great feet, great movement, great punch selection. A pure boxer. Killer Plant is. Um, does he have the pop in those punches to make Canelo respect him? That's what we must see. And this is a short live stream tonight, but I'm just talking. Does Killer Plant got the pop to make Canelo respect him? Is what we must see. Long layoff for both fighters. Anybody in the building? Who's in the building? Lisa Bales. Get your ass on, Lisa. I would like to have some company. There's nothing wrong with having a beautiful company of a beautiful woman. If you would like. And let's talk about Canelo Alvarez, Killer Plant. Only two subjects. Alvarez, Plant, Crawford, Brooks. That's it. Alvarez and Plant, Crawford, Brooks. That's all we talking about tonight. We're not going to complete the discussion with a whole bunch of different various topics and all that shit. We sticking to, let me cut on the light. We're sticking to Alvarez and Plant, Crawford and Brooks. That's it. That is it. That's all we sticking to today. Okay? And to all the beautiful women of the world, thank you. All the real men in the world, alpha males, beta males, whatever fucking male you are, as long as you love women, thank you. Here come Miss, and here come the first lady of the YouTube boxing community, Miss Lisa Bales. What's up, beautiful?
Nothing. How you doing?
I'm doing great, strong and well. What's poppin'?
Chilling. I just seen you half-ass sleep, Myron. I was just trying to watch these films or whatever for this league,
Said,
and just chilling.
you trying to watch
Yup.
the you trying to watch the films for what, hun?
I'm in that boxing league, where you make the predictions, Champ Ross,
Yeah.
and so I was just watching some highlights or whatever.
Before you make
Uh,
your decisions on your bets,
huh?
before you make your bets,
My predictions.
yeah, your bets, right? Because you got, well, yeah, your predictions. Because it's what you get to win $50 at the end of it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
If you make the
yeah.
best predictions, correct.
Last season I did pretty good. This season I'm doing horrible.
You are.
Yeah, but it happens, it's tricky, with this. It's really tricky. But so you're talking about Canelo
It's
and
tricky. Why is it tricky? Because there's more fighters on the list that you're less familiar with, right?
yeah, and
Yes, of
and
course.
I you know what, Myron? I'm still learning. My eye is not a trained eye yet. I'm
I
still
I don't believe that. I don't believe.
no.
I think it's
It
more because we have more. My belief is we have more European fighters on the list than American fighters, and you're less aware and familiar with the European fighters
no,
than
I'm
American.
pretty I mean, I'm no, I'm starting to know European fighters more, but it's not even that. It's just about it could be the American fighters. My eyes not
What's up,
trained.
Cat? You know boxing? Get on here, Miss
What's up,
Catacora.
cat? Cat, kitty cat, what's good?
Catacora 21. If you know boxing, you want to speak, hop on. The link is up there.
Yeah, cat no boxing.
She does great.
Yeah. But my eyes not, you have to have a really I'm still learning like about
There's more
I'm
links right there, so you can
you
jump.
got like foot feints and all of that. I don't know what that stuff is. Up jab. I'm still learning.
You do know what an up jab. An up jab is an up jab.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, Myron, is I'm still learning. I don't know how to break fights down yet. I could tell you verbally, like, what's going on. I mean, not well, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still learning about boxing.
That's what's up. How long you been following boxing, Lisa? Or during your, I mean,
I started
collectively.
watching it with my stepfather when I was a kid, but I didn't know what I was watching, Myron. I
Okay.
didn't know what I was looking at. I just know that boxing was really big back then, and it was like the biggest sport, and
I
I
know.
enjoyed
I think she's
watching.
fronting too. She been fronting. I've been watching Lisa all the time. She been in every chat talking about she don't know boxing.
No, I didn't say I didn't know boxing. I'm saying that I'm learning. I'm not
Well, we
trying
all
to
are
say
learning.
that I'm something that I'm, you know what I'm saying? I've never been one to really watch. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm watching, but I'm watching it. If you know what I'm trying to say.
I know what you're trying to say. I know what you're trying to say. As far as different,
Right. Especially when it's more technical, because a lot of the fights when I grew up, they were technical, but it was like people was out there really fighting.
yeah,
They
yeah.
was putting it all on the line.
You was caught up by the violence and not paying attention to the technique that was being applied in the middle of the violence. Right now, I got you. Yeah, because
Right. I grew
they
up
was
with
fighting a more,
Ali and
I
Sugar Ray
believe
Leonard and all of
they
them.
was fighting a more of a rapid pace. They was fighting faster. They
Yes.
was fighting much faster than they do today. MMA champ, what's up, champ? Catacora, you gonna come on Catacora 21? Tell Catacora 21 to come on, Lisa.
Come on, cat. I
And
mean, if you're not doing nothing.
if you ain't doing nothing, Cat, get on. The more people, just as great. But yeah, Lisa,
Yes, sir.
Canelo has parted ways with the zone and Golden Boy.
Yes. Correct.
Big moves. That is a big move. Major. How do you feel about the Canelo Alvarez Caleb Plant fight on December 19th? And what are your thoughts of this major matchup?
Um, it's a good fight. Style wise, it's a pretty interesting fight. What
You
do
holding
I
back. You're holding back, Lisa. I can tell. Go ahead. Let it dig in.
I'm not holding back, Myron. I mean, I don't really I'm not really all that bedazzled by a lot of this stuff. I just keep, you know, it is what it is to me. I don't take it like, you know what I mean?
Well, don't worry about how you take it. What do you think of the fight?
I think it's a good fight. I think that
Break
Caleb
it down
Plant,
to break it down from your
Caleb,
perspective.
Caleb Cook presents some problems for Canelo because he's elusive, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I remember in the past, now I could be wrong, but Canelo got really good defense, especially upper body movement. But in the past, like Lara, people like that. But Lara's more of a mover also. But
But
he's also
he has
defensive
good upper
too.
body, but he doesn't. What people slight him of is he don't have really good feet. Canelo. He
Right,
doesn't have the fastest feet in boxing, should I say?
right. But he know how to move just that fraction of a he'll move his chin or he's good with that.
Yeah.
Like he'll just get out the way. It'll just be like a slight margin. He is
Oh,
excellent with that.
true.
So he's got really good defense. And Caleb Plant, I think that I know that I know Canelo's gonna win this fight. Uh I'm just not sure what round or whatever. I
How
know
do you
he's
think he's
been
gonna?
out,
What do you think
huh?
he's gonna win it by? You think so? You think he's gonna? You said what round? So you think he's gonna knock out Canelo? I mean, you think
Caleb.
Canelo?
I
You
don't know
think
what
Canelo's gonna
Caleb's
stop Caleb?
chin is. He could knock him out, but Caleb seemed like he got I don't know. See, Caleb hasn't really fought anybody like enough to really. I seen him get rocked a little bit with Uskatoski,
Uh huh.
Uskatoski, but he showed some grit in that fight, and
Okay.
but Canelo does have the. I don't know what the kid's chin is really like, because he haven't been in there with no real dogs like that other than Uskatoski.
Okay.
He hasn't been in there with my boy,
I thought
tall guy. What's his name? Shit. What is the tall kid's name? I like him. The one that lost his belt.
at the Jacobs.
No, the one that lost his belt. He's a 168 pounder too, and then he lost his belt on the scale. He was overweight. His brother fought Bud Crawford. You know what I'm talking about. He's real tall. He's young, like 23. Oh,
Black, white, European, what?
he's a Latino.
Oh, Benavidez.
Mm-hmm. Yes, his name slipped me for a minute. Oh yeah,
Okay.
Benavidez, I like him. I always like him. He was always my favorite at 168.
Okay. Why?
I just like him. I don't know. He just got a little dog in him. I like him.
Okay. I
But I
wish
mean, Caleb Plant is finesse, but I always like Benavidez better. Everybody got their own.
I was I think when Canelo I'm critical of Canelo a little bit, not too much, a little bit. And I was
Right.
like, I would love to before this fight, I would love to see him fight. I would have loved for him to make the matchup with Billy Joe Saunders.
Right.
Because I think
Well, well, you know what? If Billy Joe Saunders, I'm not trying to be funny, but he
critical,
hasn't
not critical,
made
Cat.
things great for
If you
himself
critical,
either.
don't say critical or biased category from the comment section. If you want to talk, get on here and talk.
I
But
mean,
don't
Billy
be
Joe
you
Saunders
don't
hasn't exactly made things.
category B. Don't throw shit from the chat section. If you want to throw shit, get on the panel and talk. How about that? But I've been critical, but it's not a bias because you threw the bias in that category. But I've been critical of Canelo, and I thought Canelo should have fought somebody like Billy Joe Saunders. And um,
Billy Joe Saunders can't even get his shit together.
what do you mean he can't get it together? What do you mean by that?
He always doing something silly. Look what happened. I mean, I'm
What
not trying to
was
knock him. I think he's a
what is
great
it?
fighter.
What is
Look what
silly?
happened when he was supposed to fight Doodoo. I mean Boo Boo.
What happened?
Damn, y'all got me calling this boy Doodoo. Boo
What
Boo.
happened then?
He he was taking that inhaler, and
You talking about years ago?
it was like about a year and a half ago. I'm not
That wasn't
knocking
that
him.
wasn't supposed to be done with versus Canelo. Him having that issue was a year and a half ago.
Yeah, but
Had nothing to do with
what I'm saying is that every time Billy Joe
Canelo.
Saunders,
More recent, Canelo got caught with
I
enhancement
know
drugs later than fucking Billy Joe Saunders. So what do you mean?
that's not what I'm saying.
So I mean, I'm saying if you're
Myron,
saying he always get caught up with something,
Myron, will you let me talk,
you have to say
please?
Canelo's always been caught up with something because his case came after Billy Joe's thing.
I know that. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not putting nobody on no judge and jury. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I'll give you a good example. When Triple G had all of the belts or whatever, he could have became undisputed with Billy Joe Saunders, but it was always something like Billy Joe was like he would beat me and another
I remember,
person and
but I remember Oscar De La Hoya saying out his own mouth in the interview that we will never fight Billy Joe Saunders.
okay. Well, you know what? I can't keep up with all these shenanigans with boxing. You know what I'm saying? The bottom line is I'm not putting nobody on no judge and jury. The bottom line is they all need to get in there and fight.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Skill wise, who you think who's a tougher fight for Canelo? Caleb or Billy Joe Saunders? Let's just go there without all
Mm.
the extra stuff.
Um, in shape Billy Joe Saunders will probably give him a better fight. One that's a Billy Joe Saunders that's really focused. Like how I saw him fight
You don't think he would be focused for Canelo? So why you throw all that in there?
because Billy Joe is not always focused in his fights.
My
I'm
question:
going by
you
his
don't think?
experience.
Question: You don't think all these fighters are focused for Canelo if they're going to fight Canelo to take this throne, the crown? You don't think they'll come in focused?
I guess. You don't never let me talk.
I do. I just ask you questions in the middle of you talking. I let you talk all the time. Don't come with that. I just ask questions and interject a question in the middle of what you say. That's all.
I'm saying I thought the best I saw Billy Joe Saunders, I loved his performance against Lemieux. And what was the other guy name he beat? That was a good fight too. Andy Lee.
Okay.
When he got the WBA or WBO or whatever
Okay.
strap for 160. So
Okay.
when he's really, doing what he need to do and staying in shape. That's what I mean. Staying in shape and focused and dedicated. He's good. He's good. He's very elusive. So he could present like problems, but I think that Canelo's because Canelo got like over 50 fights now, so he's like a veteran now, a young vet. So I think that he would eventually get him out of there. When I don't know, or it
Mm,
could just go to decision
okay.
because Billy Joe don't really get hit a whole lot.
No, he don't. And he has
But then
great feet.
he had a pretty good fight with Eubank Jr. too.
And he has great movement and feet, which is
Mm-hmm.
Canelo don't do good with those fighters.
Right.
And
So
if he has a good chin, we can just go back to the Amir Khan fight, can't we?
yeah.
And Canelo was probably losing every round of that fight, so he just knocks him out.
I don't think he lost every round. I just watched that fight again recently. The beginning rounds, Khan was winning, but once he got his timing down, see, Khan has those really fast hands. But I noticed once Canelo started hitting him to the body more,
Did he
he
lose
was
the
slowing him
majority of the
down.
rounds?
Say that again.
Did he lose the majority of the rounds?
Mm, the first couple of rounds, I probably would have gave him to Khan, but it was like what was it like a 6 round fight or something? But when Canelo
Something like
started putting Yeah, when Canelo started putting that body work in, I started noticing he started slowing down. Because Khan is kind of like he's kind of the
that.
same. Like he'll do that, "Bah, bah, 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 bah," and then he'll
Calicore
go,
just hit right.
huh?
Calicore just hit a
Come
good
on.
point. Ask Kovalev if he was 100 for that fight or focus on the paycheck. You were 100% right, Calicore. You're
You
100% right.
focus on paycheck. You know he had to
So
pay
Kovalev,
them
so
lawyers and
that
stuff.
implies, so category, keep in mind, that implies other things that many people already said about that fight. Mm. Billy would get dropped. James Bell think Billy would get dropped
Oh, okay.
by Canelo. Possibly.
Could be.
Now,
Billy's
according,
taller, right, than Canelo.
did Saunders just fight lately?
Yeah, I think he fought a few months back. I think it was like at 168. So
Your
he
girl
went
Kat
up in weight.
Moore said, not according to his last fight. Saunders was trash. That goes to the motivation thing what Lisa Bells was talking about. He ain't motivated for
That's a
nobody weak. He needs to fight somebody good. And that's why
right.
I would love to see the Canelo and Billy Joe Saunders fight so you can see the best of Billy Joe. But I don't I don't think Canelo wants that yet.
Right.
Look at Category. Category looking like Dominican or something on there. Is she from New York like you?
You ask her.
She from Jersey and New York
What's
like
going
you?
here?
Canelo versus Billy Joe Saunders goes to the cards all day, and he ain't winning a decision against Canelo. It depends on how the fight went, Willie Boy.
Right.
It depends on how that fight went, whether he'll win it or not. Real talk. If it was, you know, if it was clear, it might have been a draw. But it depends on how that fight went.
I don't know.
What do you think Canelo? What do you think? What what attributes did Canelo have that Killer Plant couldn't deal with in a fight, Miss Lisa Bell? You think Canelo's upper body movement is his power? Is his movement experience? What?
Experience, power, upper body movement, defense. Um, what else? He's they're both gym rats and they both stay in shape. I'll give him that.
Not Billy Joe Saunders.
No, I'm talking
He
about
might
Caleb.
blow up to like a
You
hundred and
said Caleb Plant.
he blow. Yes, my apologies. My apologies. You're absolutely right. My fault. I'm thinking Billy Joe Saunders because he blew up to 200 pounds. So Caleb Plant stays in good shape. You're absolutely right. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I would give Canelo the edge on that. But you never know. A young fighter like Caleb Plant wants to make his mark. It's boxing at the end of the day. Anything can happen.
Anything can
But
happen.
yeah,
So
uh,
Caleb
we
Plant,
can.
he only had one really tough fight, and that's the guy you named. What was his name?
Jose Uskatoski. That's the one that fought the Darrell brother when uh the Darrell's uncle punched him in the face or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he got uh I don't know if he's allowed to be a trainer anymore because of that.
Mm.
And that was a wild fight. Cause he hit him after the bell, kind of like what happened with Arthur Abraham. It was a similar situation. It was crazy.
Okay. Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wonder how Canelo got out of that situation like that. I guess because so he severed
Was
his
it a double
ties with
right?
the Zone and Golden Boy. So he's a free agent now.
Yeah, he gonna make
Cut the middleman out, get more money.
I guess so. Many people are gonna think he was ducking Boo Boo Andre. People like Billy Joe Saunders and Yildirim and people like that. So maybe that's. I mean, people are starting to say things like that. That's why it's like, okay, I don't want to fight these guys. Canelo has the power to fight whoever he wants, even under the zone, and
Right.
he could have had anybody get in that ring with him. So what is the difference? Is what people are asking. And now you're going to take, which I knew when he sued for the 280 whatever the difference of the contract. I knew he
Mm-hmm.
wasn't gonna get that shit. I'm like, you get the fuck out of here. So I knew it was somewhere around 20 million under, from what people reported was he was going to get it settled out and then go do his own thing. But the thing is it just going to be based off Canelo? From what I've heard, has a lot of um a lot of work to do to get his main audience back, and that is the Mexican audience. And a lot of them is filter off, you know, I mean, from Canelo Alvarez, maybe due to the um his
The
fights,
app.
due to the no, not the app. I believe the fight selection, due to the fight selection and all of that. And I don't think the app had much to do with it. I think it was the fight selection, fighting fighters that nobody knew, because the I mean you now okay, let's use
Kovalev was known. Janny Jacobs was known. So
okay, you need to fight people more like a Janny Jacobs or a hot,
right,
and it's not going to be a Kovalev. In my Kovalev wasn't going to do it, in my opinion. And that fight has people have their different opinions of that fight, but
right.
of him moving up. But he need to fight the tough, not top notch black fighters, real, to be quite honest. And that was going to get him glory in Mexico, because we're still dealing with the Americas. You feel me?
Yeah.
And
So that would have been Charlo then.
that has to be a Charlo. That has to be a Caleb Plant. And that's what the Zone USA was built about. It's called the Zone USA. And I've said this already in many different lives, people. The Zone didn't sign Canelo to fight British or European fighters. They signed Canelo to help them take over America. That's just logic. And
Yeah.
so, and that's just logical. So they
But
didn't
the
really,
zone had it out for them from the beginning because if you remember, there was a campaign
no one
against
had an
them.
out for who.
No, I said there was a campaign out against the zone from the beginning.
Of course, because they're coming from, it's a foreign entity coming to America to try to take over a scene, and you knew it was going to be pushed back.
Right.
That was logical. We did our best to try to help them, but you know, oh well, that's how the shit. That's how the shit rolls sometimes, and I'm still helping them, because I think you got to look at it. You got to be look at this shit unbiasedly and objectively, and understand that perhaps some of the contracts that the zone was presenting fighters from other stables wasn't ideal for both stables. And that's why some of those fights didn't happen. That's the only way you can look at it. You gotta look at it that way. And that's partially one of the reasons. And you gotta say, okay, well,
Well, if that's the
maybe
case, if that's the case, then everybody should just fight in-house fights, unless it's something that's so big that then they do a cross promotion.
no, I don't think that's why everybody in-house fights. I think that's where you adjust the type of terms you giving fighters from other stables. Adjust the terms. Don't try to say, well, okay, you fight this fight, then the next fight, two fights, or on the zone. The rematch is on the zone. Okay, so the initial fight is on the zone, and also the rematch is on the zone. Instead of
Oh,
saying the initial fight is on the zone, whoever wins, then the rematch is on PB, or it's on Fox, Showtime, ESPN. That's what I'm talking about. And if they, I mean, so it's about splitting hairs, but I understand the zone was a new startup. They were trying to get their foot off the ground and get establish their place in the marketplace. So maybe they was trying to do some hardballing with their negotiations, and it didn't work out. And And the American crowd and the American companies was like, okay, we'll wait you out. Let's see how long you starve. We'll starve you out. Let's see how long you last.
Right.
That's natural business sense. That's natural business. Um, how they go about. You know what I mean? That's what I would do. You know what I mean?
Right.
If I mean me being a businessman and understanding like, okay, I got this all locked up. You coming over here and you're trying to get a piece of what I already have locked up. But at the same time, I'll let you in here to get a little piece of it. But we still, it still have to be 50-50, or at least 60-40. 60 me, 40 you. Because you're coming into my territory.
Right.
And if you if your head is up if your head is up your ass and you're really trying to like no push it, if you believe in the hype that boxing in America is dead and no we're gonna come and do a coup d'etat and force it, and then I guess you just got a rude awakening. Was no, it's not as bad as you thought it was, especially when you coming from an area, just say the UK demographics of a population of 60 million trying to come to an area of 300 million, 300 plus million.
Right.
Look at the numbers.
Well, you know what? I'm so glad.
Look at the numbers.
Like when I was watching boxing years ago, it was different, and I never talked about the business part of it. I never, because I could care less, and I still could care less about it. It's not my money. Uh, I don't care what they make. I hope they make whatever. I
Right.
mean, whatever I hope they
We're
make
looking at the
much
company's
money
money
as they
too.
can make,
Yeah, the
huh?
company's money. It's more so about the company's money.
Right, but we never talked about that because we got the fights that we wanted. But nowadays, it's like everybody's talking about the splits and how many pay-per-views they sell.
Yeah.
Who
What we talking
cares about
about?
that?
Yeah, we talking about the Canelo contract. And we gotta look at the boxing is also a business as well as anything else. So uh,
I know it's a business, but it's not the
that's a part
business
of
that I'm in.
true indeed. No,
So
you in
I
the
could
business
care
you want to
less.
see you want to see motherfuckers get knocked the fuck out, but that's connected to that business. It's that's the one sector. That's only one part of the whole entire business. I get 100% what you're saying, and you don't want
Right.
to get involved or care about the numbers and everything. You just want to see the best fights, right?
Right. I mean, because that's not the business that I'm in. And if I
True.
was in that business, it would be different. But at the same time, if they handle what they gotta handle, the fans have got too involved in some of the particulars about it to me, whereas it's taking the fun element out of it.
Yeah, true indeed, and I agree with you. I agree with you 100%, 300%, and it's I think thank God for Neofimo, and let me put the face up there. Thank God for Teofimo Lopez for setting a new standard and help setting it straight. And that's the man. Because I
Yeah.
think he's going about what he's done by beating Vasily Lomachenko is about to change things in a direction more for what we appreciate and what we are drawn to. You feel me?
Yeah. Gotcha.
I think Teofimo is leading the way to help do that and turn things right again. And it's just going to take like people like me and you and others to really demand the best fights. But we want the guys to get what they're worth. I'm not.
Sure.
I'm nowhere against the fighters getting what they're worth because you know what the sport is punishing and the sport is unforgiving. The sport the sport is
Absolutely.
the sport is physically unforgiving to the men and women that participate in it. So
Yes.
let them get what they deserve because I can't imagine it and but I can only imagine. I can't imagine it truly, but I can just only imagine me being a father with brain damage dealing with my children.
Right.
You understand? So
Yeah, no doubt.
so I'm not going to argue anything without about the business part. So,
Right.
but I do want the best fights at the same time, and I understand
Sure.
what the guys is because what last year we had what 3 deaths, right?
Yeah.
So that lets you know it's a reality in the sport, and
Hmm.
we what happened to the Canadian brother, what's his name from Jamaica, who was in a coma,
Uh.
the light heavyweight,
Oh yeah, Donna
Stevenson.
Stevenson.
There you
Yeah,
go. So
his
you know,
speech is still not right yet.
so that's what I'm
I
talking
saw
about.
him jogging.
I'm not. I have nothing against the brothers or sisters getting what they're worth for
Sure.
a sport like this. So I get it, and I don't like to get into it no more than that. But I can empathize and put myself in the shoes and imagine, like, if I was in that position, and boom, boom, and I'm constantly, then yeah, I want to be able to take care of myself and my family, so they don't have to worry for anything. And
Right.
the reality of this situation is we could easily say, I could easily say, I could throw this number out there because it's accurate. 85% of the men that deal in this sport don't have that type of protection.
Exactly.
Okay. So if you got 85%, then I'll be like, okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But James, what did James Bell say? James said, well, to be honest, pay-per-view is dying. Dazzling is the future of boxing. It's all about streaming over pay-per-view, which streaming is cheaper. It depends on the fight, James Bell, in my opinion.
Yeah. I agree.
Depends on the fight. I think streaming is awesome, James Bell. And I mean, I like streaming, but if it's the right fight, when they put it on pay per view, they're going to be. It's definitely going to be lucrative.
Yeah, more eyes.
Yeah, it's definitely going
But
to
the
be
thing,
lucrative. Hit the like button, everybody. I appreciate you.
yeah, but TV is still they get more viewers because it's on uh television like Fox. So they're always gonna get more viewers or
Yeah,
Showtime. But that's a
true.
subscription based thing as well.
Right. And I like I just want the fights to get the maximum amount of exposure as possible. And it's
Yeah, I would
I'll
love
have
if
all
they do cross promotions, but I
yes.
do understand it's a business, like you said.
Yeah, I would love cross promotions with you. You know what I mean? And the cross promotions is wouldn't be that hard. It's just them letting a little bit, maybe a little bit, giving a little bit more to the fighters.
Right.
Maybe an extra 2-3%, so the fighters could
Yeah.
be good. But other than that, yeah, I'm with you with cross promotion and everything. Caleb, Woody Boy Slipper Move said, is Caleb versus Plant pay per view worthy? Canelo versus Plant pay per view worthy? And during these times, does it do good numbers? I'm not convinced, so I don't see Canelo making the dollars he wants. What do you think, Lisa?
He that's a good point because okay, it could be pay-per-view, but it won't get the I guess it depends on where the fight is located at. They may not have a audience. I mean, attendees. But then again, Tank had a fight and it was people that attended. And I think that new stadium over in Las Vegas may
Las, right.
it's so big that you can actually it's so big that you can socially distance people. You know that new Raider stadium? It's beautiful.
It is.
Yeah, it's in Las Vegas.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, the Raiders moved to Nevada. The
Yeah,
LA Raiders, yeah, they
yeah,
moved
I
to
heard about it.
Nevada. Yeah. So or is it the Oakland I forgot. I don't know. But anyway, they moved to and the stadium is really huge, so it has you can actually socially distance the people because of the size of the stadium. So they could do it like that maybe.
Well, yeah, they could do that.
Right. And then they
Otherwise,
can have like a you know how they take your temperature when you come in?
yeah.
I don't know if it's that could be a little much, but yeah.
And you think they'd do the Caleb Plant and Canelo fight there? You think that's good?
No, I was just throwing it in the air. I mean, that is a that with Canelo, it's a big name, so I really don't know. I don't know where it's gonna be at. Maybe he'll do it. Maybe he won't do a pay per view. I don't know, but I can't see it because you gotta. Where's the money at? You know, to pay
Right.
him.
Right. Canelo's. Do you think Canelo's going to take a significant pay drop since because of leaving the zone?
Mm, maybe during this time a little bit. But I'm not sure.
You think he'd do better for himself with Canelo Alvarez Promotions than the zone was going to do with him? Than on the zone platform where they was going to give him 35 million a fight?
Hmm. I don't know. He may do better. You never know because he can market himself and put himself out there
Less
to so
cost,
many
less
different places.
less overhead. You saying?
Yeah, he gonna keep the bulk of his money.
Okay.
It's gonna be Canelo Alvarez promotions, I'm sure, and he probably has fighters that are under him. And Eddie Reynoso, they doing this. They got their own thing that they about to do. So when you cut the middleman out, you're gonna make that money because remember they were saying 35 million that he get per fight, depending on the fight at the zone. But it was really 40 million. The Golden Boy got that five off the top to help their company stay afloat. You know what I'm saying? So uh
Correct.
definitely if he fight in Mexico, but he doesn't fight in Mexico anymore.
Your girl Catacor says yes. In order to make Dazzler money, the pay per view has to be over 600K every time. I think that was the estimate.
All right, thanks, sis.
Your girl come to your aid.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know the figures and but I'm just saying,
Yeah, Catacor.
yeah, he definitely gonna cut that
Who,
middleman out.
who does Catacor work for? We need to ask that question. You work for the Zone, Catacor?
Yeah, why
She
not?
does. She does.
Myron, I'm just joking.
You sure?
I don't
She
know
could
you.
be. Shit, I'm not. You said why not? No, it's. I'm sure it's women I work for there in that. Women like money. She could be counting up them numbers. Canelo Alvarez is going to ask for a lot of money. James Bell said.
Of course.
I think Canelo. I'll be honest with you. I think what was exposed with the zone.
Mm-hmm.
Canelo is not worth as much as he think he is.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, I mean it's kind of obvious now in certain areas. He's not. He's definitely not a Mayweather. And James Bell laughed. Canelo's not worth
right,
more as he think he is. So, and I think
right,
that's what's been revealed. Unless he's fighting the competition, everybody wants him to see him fight. Unless he's fighting the competition, that's the thing. People want to see him fight by himself, fighting nobody. And this was the same for Canelo. This is the same. This was the same for Floyd Mayweather. And we could tell that by watching the numbers from Floyd Mayweather with everybody before. That was highly anticipated and brought a lot to the table, a good dance partner, to his fight versus Berto. You understand what I'm
Well,
saying?
yeah, but
His
here's
fight
the
versus
thing,
Berto
Myron.
do the greatest thing on pay per view. It did well. He did over 600K, or I mean, he did over 800K, barely. But that was again only his name holding it up. So you got to then say is was Canelo Alvarez just as big as Mayweather? I don't think you would say that. And so that means that goes down from the 900K, say Mayweather did by himself versus Berto, to lesser.
Right. But see, Myron, you also have to understand this. When Mayweather was with HBO, and when he left HBO, he went to Showtime,
I understand
and
that.
he had huh, and he had a a, a contract, kind of like how the Zone is, where it
Mm-hmm.
was guaranteed money, maybe $32 million per fight.
Yeah,
It was guaranteed money, but Mayweather put asses in the seats as well.
yeah,
And a lot of things was also contingent also on the Pacquiao fight as well. So he
uh
had
huh,
a dance partner that almost equaled him,
yeah,
whereas Canelo don't really have that. The closest thing that he had to that was Triple G. You know what I'm saying?
right.
He didn't
Well,
really have that dance partner that where, because when the Maypac thing was going on,
you
it
only
was
talking
like
about one fight. You only talking about one fight.
no. I'm not just talking about one fight. I know that Mayweather's name was big or whatever, but what I'm saying is that everybody was the hysteria
Yeah,
surrounding
Pacquiao.
the
Pacquiao
Mayweather
name. Yeah,
Pacquiao fight.
it was true.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
So he did great pay-per-views, but I think that last one, because nobody really wanted to see Berto, but he at that point he did it his way, and he just went out how he wanted to go out.
He did. Yeah, he
He
had
didn't have nothing to prove it at that point.
no. He went out. He had McGregor after that,
Right.
which broke records.
Yeah. But it
You know,
was a circus.
it was a fight though. It definitely.
Well, they
So
sanctioned it for
it's a lot.
50.
It's a lot of fights with boxing and boxers. I think it's circus that I'm not going to repeat again over this live no more. I've already expressed how I felt about them, particular fights, and that's fights involving a lot of the top two, three today, and then Mayweather in that pass. But I mean, yeah, that's the business part of the thing. And why that was so big because it was a cross promotion between UFC and boxing.
Right, which is cool. I had no problem with that. The thing that I found was kind of weird was they sanctioned it for 50
Well, he was
because
already
he
a
got a
professional fighter, so I don't understand why people were shocked that they sanctioned it because he was a professional fighter though.
he
And
paid, yeah, that was his first professional boxing match.
but the
But
key
they
word
but they were
the key
listen,
word I
Myron.
said no the key word I said was fighter. You said
Right,
box. I said he was a professional fighter for longer than that. So
right.
why they pushed that, I can completely understand because he was a professional fighter. For okay, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, and here's the thing. And then they compared it to Rocky Marciano's record. I don't
Now I don't
compare
agree with that.
I don't compare welterweight's record with a heavyweight's.
I
You know
compare
what I'm trying to
records.
say?
Yeah, but I compare records to records. It doesn't matter. I mean, whether they're heavyweight or lightweight or featherweight or bantamweight. I'll compare records to records because you're still fighting the men at your size. What I will not compare is somebody who's coming from UFC and fighting their first boxing match, which what McGregor did. Now that is out of, but the weight classes and all that, I don't care about that because if
But
you're
that's
able
what
to
I
go
just
50 and
said,
0,
Marvin.
regardless if you're able to go 50 and 0, whether you're a bantamweight in your division, whether you're a heavyweight, you're still doing it in your division, and it's still so. What's I mean, we could say, oh well, they're heavyweights. Yeah, they hit harder. Well, yeah, they hit hard for heavyweights, and they're hitting harder if they find a guy. If you got a bantamweight guy weighing 120, 118, 116, fighting other bantamweights, their punches hurt him because why? He's smaller. So you got to compare apples to oranges. You got to compare apples to apples. And the apple is this is a 116 fighter fighting a 116 fighter. This is a 205 plus pound fighter fighting a 205-pound plus fighter. It's we don't. I mean, it's not our control of. I mean, you want to control heavyweights to. I mean, whatever the lighter weights. It's not a control how big this guy grows in his life or what he's destined size he's destined to be. He's fighting the guys in his weight division, and it's more guys good in his weight division than there are guys good in the bigger guys weight division. So truth be told, him going 40 and 0, whatever no, or 55 and 6 is a bigger accomplishment in the lighter weight divisions than going 50 and 0 in the bigger weight divisions. Because we know the average size of the human being, the average man, is what? It's not 200 plus pounds. There is 5'9, 5'10, 5'11, my height, and 180. So, you know what I'm saying? So if
Yeah,
you,
you gotta. Well, if that's the case, you got a
that's a
guy.
good point. I
But
mean,
you got a
understand the
guy
point.
that's a minimum weight. IBT could tell you his name. I forgot his name.
Zarez is
Adam Wade
fine.
or something. He's a 54 and 0 or something like that. Nobody talks about him.
Huh? Say that
I
again.
forgot his name currently.
Yeah, you got some bad boys at the
Okay.
light division. They're
But
not getting
but
props.
but this is what I'm saying. Nobody's talking about him.
But that's
Yeah,
because
I
of
don't care who you are.
that
we gotta
doesn't
keep
mean
that
what he's
same
doing.
energy.
No, no, we're saying the same energy because I mean, what he's done at the lighter division doesn't, it's, I mean, doesn't discriminate his ability as a fighter. That points to the media aspect and what we only focus the public's attention to. We only want to focus our attention to the big heavyweights. That's what the media is geared after. Look,
The
all the sayings.
no,
Heavyweight go.
it's
Hold up,
three divisions.
hold up. How the heavyweight go, so does boxing. So we can't get mad now or like beat up on the smaller weight divisions if the smaller boxer isn't getting the attention I mean, deserves, as you said, because we all want to focus our attention to just heavyweights. That's not his fault. That's our fault. That's the people who the media's fault. That's not the fighter's fault.
There's three divisions in boxing that are considered the darling divisions, in my opinion.
It's welterweight,
Welter, welterweight,
lightweight,
middleweight,
and heavyweight.
no, middleweight to
Lightweight's
me.
always been a media darling. Look at
Lightweight.
lightweight has always been media darling. They go with the middles. You got to go with the light, welterweight, middleweight is one of them, definitely. But
And then
lightweight historically, lightweight, welterweight, heavyweight,
lightweight is 130, right?
135. Teofimo.
I thought that was super lightweight.
No, that's 140.
Oh, lightweight is 140. No, that's okay. I can't.
Lightweight's 135. Teofimo Lopez.
Okay.
Where Lomachenko's fighting.
Yeah.
You feel
Okay.
me? You see how they build up Lomachenko?
Yeah.
Teofimo, how they control? Lightweight, welterweight, middleweight's there too, but then the heavyweight. Those are the main four. Let's just say those are the four media darlings right now on this show. Those are the main four. But lightweight, look at all the greats that came from the lightweight division. And historically. And
Yeah.
then you'll see, okay, that makes sense. And
Purnell. It was a lot of them.
Roberto Duran,
Yeah.
Purnell,
Definitely.
Chavez,
Yeah.
Julio Cesar Chavez. Yeah,
It's a bunch
that's
of them.
a bunch of them. Okay,
Yeah.
so um
If I really dig in my
um
crates, I could pull
uh,
out a whole bunch.
Floyd Mayweather. They're starting up.
Oscar.
This
Oscar.
they're starting up. Yes, they're starting
Shane Mosley.
the lightweight division. So
Yeah,
that's
I'm trying to. Bobby
yeah,
Chacon, all of them. I could go way back.
the lightweight division. The
Yeah.
lightweight. Then they were in the top off right there at welterweight, and if they can get to middleweight, then they'll do that. And that's what you saw with Sugar Ray Leonard's career, right?
Yeah.
When
Aaron Pryor was one.
you saw Sugar
Oh
Ray
no, he was
welterweight,
140.
you saw
Yeah.
Sugar Ray at welterweight. He at middleweight. He topped it off at light heavyweight, but that was still a catchweight when he fought Danilo Long.
Yeah.
Marvelous Marvin
Tommy
Hagler.
Hearns went all the way up to 175.
Right.
He
And
started like 140 or something, maybe.
that's right. So those middle
Yeah.
guys can move up because they starting in that 135 very young, in their 20s. And by the time they hit their 30s and get that man muscle on them, then they going to move up to more so the 150, 147, 154, 160 range.
Uh, Marvin Hagler was a career 160 pounder.
And that's why, yeah. And regardless, and a lot of people, you know what my biggest problem is? People don't consider him one of the greatest pound for pound in the world. I'm like, the motherfucker doesn't have to win belts in 4 or 5 weight divisions to prove he's one of the best fighters in the world amongst all the weight divisions. Because if you move down to 154, he has smashed everybody there. If he moved up to
Huh?
168, most likely he has smashed everybody there. He was just
Right.
focused on, I'm gonna dominate this shit. And he dominated for how many? 9, 10 years?
Yeah.
That's domination, is it not?
Yeah. Definitely a all-time great. Yeah.
Yeah, shit. He dominated
Yeah.
for 10 years by
Yeah.
himself. Beat everybody he came
Yeah,
through.
he did. He did.
Mugabe,
He
anybody
even
came
beat
through the,
Mugabe,
if
and
you went through that
Mugabe was
heavyweight,
a scary dude.
if you had it, hey, if you came through that middleweight division, you would have to come through Marvin Hagler.
Right. But Mugabe was a 154 at one point. Yeah, he was a scary dude.
Yeah,
He
that
was
was a,
knocking
you
out
see that fight?
everybody.
That was an amazing
That
fucking
was
fight.
wicked. Yeah.
My God. Okay, now look, let's check this out. What do you think of
Uh-huh.
uh Crawford versus Brooke?
I got Bud.
Okay, most people do. Tell me how you think the fight gonna play out.
Hmm. Oh, it depends on Kell Brook because I don't know if he's gonna. The thing is that Kell Brook, as they always said, he was a big welter, and he was really killing himself to make that weight. And
There's no hydration clause on this fight.
okay,
There's no hydration clause. Like in the previous fights, previous 4 welterweight fights he had, there was hydration clause in there. There is not a hydration clause in this fight. Keep that in
right.
mind.
I mean,
When he fought
I
Spence,
could see.
it was a
Yeah.
hydration clause.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he went up to 160, came down back to 147, the hydration clause, meaning he can't gain 10 pounds over
Yeah,
within
because it was the IBF.
no hydration
IBF.
clause in this shit.
Yeah. Well, Look, Bud is a different kind of animal. Kell Brook is a good fighter, but Bud is mean.
He's a hell of a fighter.
Yeah, Kell Brook is a really good fighter. I'm not gonna take that from him.
I
And he
think
got
this
a
is going to be
great
a hell of a
jab.
fight. I
Yeah,
think
well, he can catch Bud because you know Bud is really more offensive, and he'll take a few to get his off.
true.
You know, but Bud is mean though.
He is. He's mean.
When it comes to, I've seen some early fights of him. He was mean back then too.
Yeah, he has something to prove for.
Uh-huh.
He has something to prove for Omaha, Nebraska. Peace out.
And I could see that wrestling. He has a, you know, he used to wrestle, and I could see that because when he was fighting Aegis Kavalaskis, Mean Machine, um, he he caught him and he grabbed onto him. If you notice, like you know how wrestlers do, but he grabbed him,
Yeah,
and like they were saying that was considered a knockdown, but he grabbed him though before he actually, you know. But Bud is strong. I think he's stronger than people think he is.
right.
You see how much he deadlifts? You see how much he.
I saw that. That was on the Relentless. I watched that Relentless video today. You saw that there?
Yeah, yeah. He's stronger than people think he is.
He's going to build up, of course. He get into the man strength. He's only what 33.
Uh huh.
So yeah, naturally he's going to have to.
Yeah.
Kale's already been that strong.
Yeah. But
I
you
think he's
know,
going to be like
but you know, it's gonna be a good fight. It's definitely going. I know a
if
lot of
Kale
people.
if Kale's eye if Kale eye is completely it's not a problem anymore. If Kale Brooks' eye is not a problem anymore, that could resurface. And it hasn't in the previous 3 fights he's fought before this fight because he's on a 3-fight win streak. So if his eye has not, if his eye is no longer a problem,
Right.
this is going to be a tough fight for Crawford. A very tough fight,
Okay.
in my opinion. That is if Kell Brooks, again, let me reiterate, if Kell Brooks' eye, people who listening, if his eye is no longer a problem, neither eye socket, which is very fucking serious, which when he lost to Spence, he couldn't see no more. He said everything he was seeing was double, so he couldn't see no more, so he quit.
Right.
And I watched that fight again today, and I thought a lot of things was quite biased in the calling of that fight, the refereeing. That's me, because I watched that fight again, and I'm a Earl Spence fan. But I've seen a lot of low blows from Earl Spence that wasn't called. The same with Sean Porter. He came in with the head a lot of headbutts by Earl Spence that was never called. And I was thinking, like, God damn, it's the like my man Kell Brook is fighting home in Sheffield, but he don't got the home field protection. That's what I watched that fight today and how I felt. I watched it earlier today, the entire fight, a couple of times, because I rewinded rounds and looked at it again. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, God damn. I'm looking at the referee, like all he is focusing on. But they both fought a hell of a fight. And I truly believe I watched Kell Brook eye puff up in the 8th and 9th round. It was puffing up like shit. And then it went flatter. So I'm like, all that fluid went into this fucking face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
His eye was puffed up.
Yeah.
It didn't went flat. And I was like, yo, that he might have been dealing with. So he might have been dealing with a serious shit. Like, I mean, any contact with the head to head, whatever, was like a pain in his head. You know what I
Right.
mean? You can only, and I've dealt with similar shit like that. And I'm like, and I was questioning Kell Brooks' toughness after that fight. And then I watched it again today. I was like, yo, I can't put myself in that man's position and see how he felt with that shit. But he was fighting. But he was like, you know, fuck it. You know, I can't see. I'm not going to just take no beating to be beaten and look bad. And then everybody just dropped him. Dominic Ingle and everything looked shortly after. But I was like, I mean, what if? And so I'll bring that today is if, what if? And I mean, if Kell Brook has allowed his eyes, sockets, and orbital bones to heal up properly, then, and there's also add on to that, no fucking hydration clause. I'm like,
Right.
he's going to give, I mean, because you got to look at it. Last, when he won the IBF title, he won it from who?
Sean Porter
Where?
in America.
You goddamn fucking right. I'm thinking like, okay,
Yeah, but he was grabbing a lot. Listen, what's his name? Bud can grab you too. He's strong in that grab. That
yeah,
what do you call it? Um
clinch.
yes, he's strong in that.
Yeah, it's gravy. Okay. He grabbed.
Look what he did to
Yes.
Jeff Horn.
He also beat the shit out of Porter though. Kell
Who
Brook,
Kell Brook?
Kell,
Yeah, he beat him, yeah.
yeah, he beat him. He beat him
But
good.
I mean Porter was still there.
He was there, but he was there for a beating. America low IQ. All right, get the fuck out of here. Um,
So you saying that they're gonna if it's close, Bud is gonna lose. That's what you're saying.
no, I ain't saying nothing like that. What I'm
Oh,
saying,
okay.
I said if Kell Brook come in, no hydration clause, and what I just said before, if his eye sockets are well healed, when it's not going to be a problem, it's going to be a hell of a fight for Bud.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
ain't
yeah.
nothing about,
I
yeah,
got
it's
you.
going to be a hell of a fight. I'm not going
Yeah.
to, I'm not going to say it's 50-50, but I give it 55-45.
Okay. Got you.
Yeah. I mean, Kell Brook has that. And like I said before, again, he's the only fighter who beat Sean Crawford handily in the welterweight division. He beat him
Right.
better. He beat him handily. He beat him better than he was. He he did what Garcia, Spence, or Thurman could do.
Right.
That's my point. So we use Porter as the measurement, and Porter is nobody looks good fighting Porter, and Porter is a tough fight for everybody. Well, the person who beat him the best was Kell Brook, and that's why I can't consider Kell Brook skill wise, health, fully healthy, eyes and all, probably the toughest, not top toughest in the welterweight division that you could fight.
But
So
Keith Thurman hit him a couple of times that was so hard. I was surprised he
with the left hook,
stood up. He hit him so matter of fact, I heard that he had a concussion from that. He
Kell
hit
Brook,
him
yeah,
so hard one time. I was like, whoa.
he almost dropped. Kell Brook hit him
Yeah.
like that a
He
couple of times.
grabbed onto him and he looked like, whoa,
Yeah,
what did I get hit with?
yeah. And then he hit Keith Thurman following that with a hell of a body blow that had Keith running like a motherfucker. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? In that same fight, because I watched, and that was a hell of a fight. That was
Yeah, that was a good fight.
I called that one of the fights of the year. But Kell Brook almost dropped Porter with straight right that almost like buckled him as well. It's what I saw in that fight. And I saw
Yeah.
Porter bloody all over the place. And so I was like, damn, okay.
Kel got a hell of a jab.
His his straight right is his beast. And so I'm thinking like when I was watching that fight today, I'm thinking like, okay, how many of these straight rights? If he throw it with conviction, it's mean. And how many do Crawford want to take that straight right that much? So is he? So I was thinking, is Crawford going to come in fighting more orthodox, or fighting more southpaw? Which is better for him? I don't think he want to fight southpaw, but it depends on how they come and fight. We'll see. We'll see Saturday night.
Yeah, yeah, you got a good point there.
His his straight right is his monster shot, Kell Brook,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll throw it counter, and he'll just throw it straight before a jab, and that's what was eating fucking Porter's ass up. And I was
Right.
like, God damn. His right hand is his power punch. His right hand is his favorite punch. Not his left hook, his right hand. And I just watched him earlier. And he was killing Earl with that shit. And I was like, okay, what is Crawford going to do then? I wonder if he's going to fight orthodox this fight or more southpaw. Because if he fights southpaw, he's going to eat that right hand a lot. And
Yeah.
we know Sean, we know not Sean Porter, but Crawford, his pride, he'll take a punch to give off a couple, like you said earlier. But I think this is not Kovalowski's. You feel me?
Right.
This is not Kovalowski's he's fighting. This is somebody stronger, more skilled, and perhaps have something to prove. And perhaps is what I was talking about as far as him fighting in America. May fight better. I believe perhaps fight better and fight stronger on foreign ground.
Right. Gotcha.
That's what I'm looking at. That's just my thought process. I'm not saying
Hmm.
any of this is going to happen, but he came to America and beat Sean Porter down in front of America because I felt he had something to prove. And I watched the fucking press conference today, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, he looked too fucking calm for my, comfort. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He looked real calm. He looked like he not too hype. You know what I'm saying? And he just looked like, and we're going to see. I was trying to read his eyes, and sometimes I was like, oh no, but then sometimes his eyes, I was like, oh shit. And so we're going to have to see. But I think this is going to be just a hell of a fight. But I could be 100% wrong, and Crawford get him out of there in 10. You know what I mean? Nothing earlier
Yeah.
than 10 though. But because even through Earl Spence with the fucked up eye again, that was swelling, he lasted to the 11th. It was he stopped the fight, and Kell Brooks stopped that fight. He wasn't laid on his back. It was a minute and 20 left in the 11th round, and then it's only the 12th. So Kell Brook was 4 minutes and 20 seconds from either being a winner versus Earl Spence or not. So Earl Spence didn't have the power to drop him though. It seemed like the power, the eye was bothering more than anything once you look at him from the 8th, 9th round and all. So I was like, but and I nobody's going to sit here and say maybe Kell Brook or Crawford is more meaner than Earl Spence. I think both of them are mean as fuck. So it's hard to make that argument. So we got to just say they're even. But
Right.
like again, it's all my whole thing is placed on how his eyes, his orbital and sockets have healed. If they're healed well, where it doesn't formulate a problem, then that's going to be a problem. Because I do believe that the IBF sanctioning the mandatory with as soon as they did after the Triple G fight, after the Kell Brook and Triple G fight, in less than what was that? 5 months later,
Uh huh.
He's fighting Earl Spence Jr. If he had and they say he had a cracked socket, that shit
Now
ain't
I
going.
think that I think it was a little bit less than a year, but it wasn't that soon.
No, it was like 6. It was 5 or 6 max. I know that. I looked that up. That was it. So he came from that and then fighting, jumping down from 160 to fighting 147 with the cracked eye socket in the fight before. Let's do it. And so
Well,
we're gonna
that's
guess.
crazy. I don't
Yeah,
even know why he fought Triple G in the beginning.
he was daring to be great, and he was people. He was giving Triple G a hell of a fight. But I think he was crazy. Kell Brook is crazy then. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. That's the only things I'm looking at. This motherfucker is really like He like, fuck it, let me fight Triple G. He feeling himself. So this motherfucker has to have high confidence in his ability. And so I'm looking at all of that shit, and I'm like, if this motherfucker eye socket is healed up, this motherfucker Crawford gonna be in for a fucking battle. You know what I mean? And he's coming off a 3-fight win streak. And then he done had Dominic Ingle walk out on him. He done had, it depends on his personality type. He done had, been dropped from Matchroom. He be like, I'm gonna prove all
Or
you.
they dropped him.
Yeah, I'm gonna prove all you motherfuckers wrong. We again talking about a motherfucker who's 39-2 with 27 KOs. 39
Uh-huh.
and 2. Kell Brook is. Only two losses was to Triple G and Earl Spence. So I'm like, I love Crawford, and I think he's going to get this. I think I'm saying Crawford's the favorite, but if he is to get Crawford, I will not be shocked. That's all I'm saying. I won't
Right.
be shocked I won't be shocked at all. Okay, so he fought. Yeah. Okay, so 9-10. So you were closer. It was less than a year. So 9 September 10th, he fought Triple G, 2016.
Right.
Then in May 27th, 2017, he fought Earl Spence.
Okay.
Okay, so 8 months.
Yeah, that's not a long time for a broken eye socket to heal.
No shit. We saw Sugar Ray Leonard had the same fucking shit. He took a fucking 2 years off.
No, he had a detached retina. That was different.
Okay, oh, my bad. In the same motherfucking area though. It was the fucking, you know what I mean? Some serious shit around there. But yeah. So I'm like,
Yeah,
that
he had a titanium plate over his eye, basically.
that was a hell of a turnaround.
Yeah, it's very dangerous.
And I'm sure if you watch that fight like I watched it today, Earl Spence, whenever he was in a grasp with Kell Brook, that motherfucker kept punching up at the eye. All over,
Hmm.
all over. Watch that fight again tonight or tomorrow. And
Okay.
you could see Earl Spence Jr. was aiming when he was in the grasp. He was like, hit the eye. He was just punching in the clinch all the time, hitting the eye, hitting upside the head. The fucked up.
Right.
It was just like, okay, yeah, that was a strategy. And nothing wrong. I mean, I'm not knocking Earl Spence for that. You do what you got to do. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But you know what I mean? I was just like, okay. And he hit low a lot, Earl Spence. And I was thinking like, we saw that shit in the Porter fight, and I was like, okay, damn, he hit a lot. But I watched that fight, like, god damn, he hit a lot here too. He was hitting low all the time. And then Kell Brook was looking at the ref sometimes, like, and the ref was just like paying no mind. I'm like, god damn, he had home in Sheffield fight. And they didn't call it shit. And I mean, I was just like,
Oh.
yeah, I was just like, watch the fight. Watch the fight. And I was
Damn.
like, I was
Hmm.
looking at this shit like, wow, he had home without the home field advantage, besides the crowd.
I guess he was damaged goods. Maybe that's how they look at him.
After one loss? Yeah, I mean it's
What?
or it was a
Look at the
or they put
Myron. Look at the look what's
after
going
one
on in
loss,
boxing now.
huh?
Myron, look what's going on in boxing now. You get one loss, they say you need to retire.
Yeah, but this is UK. And you 39-1, you deserve more credit. Then they should have gave Pacquiao all that shit. Then Pacquiao was damaged goods after Bradley, right? Pacquiao was damaged goods after getting knocked out of Marquez, right? Hold the same energy, Lisa.
No, I'm not saying that I agree with it. I'm just saying
I'm just saying. Go ahead.
people were talking like that. Now
But why didn't they talk
it's
like that with
loose.
Pacquiao then?
I don't know.
Okay,
Pacquiao was just a
that's
different beast too.
but that's what I'm
Got
saying.
in there
No,
with everybody.
I don't want to hear that damaged goods stuff. No, it's either
I
it sounds like even if you listen to the commentators, it seemed like it
Myron,
was
I was just speaking hypothetically. I didn't say that that was true. I'm just saying maybe they thought that he was damaged goods. It's just something I'm not saying that it's true.
I don't think they thought that. Yeah, I understand saying true, but we don't want to throw that shit around too often. That word, that phrase, damaged goods, because it's just not. I mean, if we didn't use it back 20 years ago, let's not use it now. That's that's my thinking of it. We didn't call it, I mean, Sugar Ray Leonard damaged goods. We lost to Duran. So why we want to use it now because everybody else is using it?
Because I
No,
think everybody wants to be undefeated.
no. Well, people always wants to be undefeated.
Right.
Every fighter wants to be undefeated. That's their whole idea. It's just that very few do it.
Right.
That's it. That's the only difference. Every fighter wants to be undefeated. Did you hear Earl Jones? Did you watch Roy Jones around the table when he was over there with all the cats in the UK?
No, I didn't hear it.
You didn't watch the Roy when he was on the round table with the cats from Kawasaki, all of them, and they was in the UK. Roy Jones said my plan was to go undefeated, but that
Oh
happened.
yeah, I think I have heard him say that before. Yeah.
Exactly. Every fighter wants to be undefeated. Every
Hmm.
single fighter that gets into boxing thinks about going undefeated. So that's no cop out for them. That's no cop out for nobody.
Right.
Every single fighter. It doesn't matter even if you're in the professional fight game. Every time you go into a freaking street fight, you think you're going to be you think this motherfucker can't whip my ass. Most of the guys who got any skills at all, you still thinking I can get them. So that's not a good argument for them. That's not. So you can't use that everybody the undefeated. No, that's just some bullshit they're putting out there. You know what I mean? Because everybody wanted to be undefeated after Marciano.
Well,
Sugar Ray
I wasn't
Robinson.
around, so I wouldn't know. Yeah.
Sugar Ray Robinson. You watch his fight records.
Yeah, he fought like what up to 100 and something before he lost.
He won 66 straight.
Oh, okay. And
Julio
then won
Cesar
another
Julio
whole lot
Cesar
before he lost.
Julio Cesar Chavez first loss was to who?
Um,
Technically Pernell Whitaker, but he was undefeated before that, and there was 86 fucking
please,
fights.
yeah. Let me tell you the guy's name. I'm trying to think because he's a
But
hard
but he
hitter.
went but he went 80 something fights before he lost, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think his
So
name.
that doesn't mean nothing. Is what I'm saying.
Tell
So
me
that,
his name again. I forgot.
that don't mean shit right now.
Okay.
Huh?
Well, don't say nothing because it'll come to me. Yeah.
James Bell Bud looked hittable in every fight. The fight versus Gamboa, fight versus and definitely the fight versus Igauskis. He got I think he got hit more versus Igauskis versus Gamboa than um Kovalauskis. I mean, good
Well,
morning, good morning. I am wrong.
yeah.
Yeah. So how many fighters we done? We have fighters in the lightweight, like you said, that went like 55 and something. You just mentioned them earlier. So that's not no excuse.
Yeah, that's true, Myron. I mean,
It's
what
no
I
excuse.
don't know. I mean,
Every
it's a
fighter looks
fight.
to
What do
go
you
undefeated.
expect from me?
No
Yeah,
fighter,
what do you
no
expect
fighter
from these
wants to lose.
fighters?
No fighter wants to lose. It's
What's
just
up,
that.
Finesse? Frankie Randall. Thank you, IBT.
There you go.
That's the guy. Yep.
No fighter
I
wants to
could not
lose.
think his name.
No fighter wants to lose. Every fighter's
Right.
plan, every child, every teenager, or whatever, goes in the fight and looks to think, look, ain't nobody gonna beat me. So
Right.
that's the mindset, regardless. They do what they do.
Right.
So whether they lose one or not, that don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? So no, I ain't gonna believe all these kids like, it's nothing. That is the case with that's the case with everybody coming up. That was the case with Tyson. That was the case with Leonard. That was the case with Harris. You know what I mean?
Right.
It wasn't the case with Hagler. Hagler just Hagler did something that most fighters don't do. Is he avenged all of his losses in the rematches? That's something Hagler did, and the only one he
So
did.
did Lennox Lewis, right?
The only one, yes, the only one Hagler wasn't able to avenge was versus Sugar Ray Leonard because he walked away. So
Yes.
that's just boxing, man. That's your ego, and you. I'm not going to lose this fight. I'm going undefeated. That's just
Hmm.
how I go. So that's what we all. That's ideally what we want. But in reality, these fighters know they're going to lose something or understand in the back of their mind they might run against somebody, might take an L. So I
Yeah.
don't. I'm not gonna. Whatever we was talking about again before that, I'm not gonna put that on. What was we? Damn it. We was talking.
I just my I think I was just thinking that I think like the Mayweather blueprint. I think a lot of not blueprint, but I think a lot of people would like to follow that. You
Of
know.
course, because it's our modern era, and he's
Right.
now the icon, behavioral icon, or athletic
Right.
icon for boxing and everything. I get it, but the reality is that's not going to be the case. But you want to they want to elongate it for as long as they can, and
Right.
so. But truth of the matter is, if we want to be fair, then you might as well um, put that same thing on Pacquiao, put that
Right.
same thing on Canelo, because it's many fight. He got one draw, but it's other. He has two draws, Canelo, right? But it's fights that people thought he lost. Put that same
Hmm.
thing on everybody.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Everybody hit the like button. If
I
please,
figure it's life. I figure it's life. You win
absolutely
some,
beautiful.
you lose some.
You got
That's
them.
the way I look at it.
That's what it is. And some win more than they lose.
Sure.
And some lose more than they win.
Right.
But
Exactly.
you know what I mean? So I'm not gonna put on that. We want to use that 50 as a cop out. Nah, there's some of these cats, they really what I believe it is, they try to build these fighters for bigger profile so when they do fight, they can make the most money possible. That's that's
Yeah,
the
but it's kind of like building a house on sand to me.
okay.
No substance. So when a storm comes, okay, a tornado comes, it's gonna take it. It's gonna pull it up in the whirlwind. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
it's not built on a
It's
great
just
foundation, huh?
it's marketing promotion. They know
And
right now. Right
what's
now,
his name? Leon Muhammad.
right now we're gonna see
Leon,
a lot of fighters.
listen,
Right now we're
Leon
gonna see a lot.
Muhammad. That's the
Right now we're gonna see a lot of fighters start taking L's.
listen. What Leon Muhammad say? The Hollywood charade. That's all it is.
It's business, yeah. It's an entertainment business,
Mm-hmm.
and but it's fun to watch, and it's real. But um, again, eventually we
What's
about
fun to watch?
eventually boxing when the best are fighting the best. Eventually this is about to happen, like we said earlier. Whereas we're going to see the best fighting the best. Piece of pugilism, the Texan. We're about to see the best fighting the best because, like I
Yeah,
said
because
earlier,
this sport is being
Teal,
reduced to the chitlin circuit.
yeah, like I said earlier, Teofimo's big win versus Lomachenko is going to change the tide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I completely believe that. And also, what's going to change the tide is Devin Haney's performance versus Gamboa. People gonna people people gonna go after get Devin Haney now because they may not think he's ready, or they may think he's overhyped. But hey, anybody want to join the shit? Anybody come on and join the joint? I got another 30 minutes to left on this live. There are the links. Come on, hop on. Lisa Bells, you still here?
Yes, I'm sorry. I had the mute button on by accident.
It's all right, beautiful. What was your opinions of Devin Haney's performance versus Yuriokis Gamboa?
I mean, he won every round pretty much.
You don't sound too excited rehashing that memory.
Yeah. How you gonna tell me how I feel?
Because she said, yeah, how you gonna tell me how I feel? That's how I told you. I'm not, I said,
I
all I said was
said,
you don't seem too excited rehashing that memory.
I mean, but it, I mean, I think people expected him to measure up to what T.O. and Tank did
Of course.
the preceding weeks, uh the prior weeks. And I don't you know, what do you what do you want from me? He showed he got the job done. It was a boxing. I look at Devin as a really good boxer. He's still very young. So
Mm-hmm.
he has not gotten his man strength yet or whatever. He's not like a one hitter quitter type of person.
No.
So he relies on his athleticism, his footwork, his boxing ability and defense. He's very defensive.
Was he too defensive
So
to fight?
could maybe possibly. He in the 12th round he opened up though.
When it was in a desperate attempt to try to get a knockout?
Right. So maybe he could have done it a little earlier, but I'm not a fighter. I'm not in that ring. I don't know what's going on with them. And what's his name? Gamboa is normally a mover, but apparently, I know he had the Achilles injury. So he didn't move around a lot. He kind of just fought, and he was a little heavier this time. So his
Yeah.
punch resistance was probably a little better, and the trunks was high also. Because you ever notice Gamboa normally has
Push.
long trunks. Hey
Yeah.
everybody!
How you
What's
doing?
up?
Oh
What's up?
shit, we're gonna hit a full show. We got
Hey, what's
welcome
up,
to
IBT in the
Immortal
text?
Boxing IBT to the
How's it going,
panel.
Lisa?
Welcome.
How's it
Welcome.
going,
Hey,
Myron? How's it going, IBT?
What's
Yeah,
up?
what's good? What's
How you
good?
doing? And welcome to
hey,
Texas
family,
to the channel.
family, my family here. What's good?
Texas, we got the Texan in here. We got Dazzin in full effect.
You still think I
Yeah,
work for the zone?
You work for the zone.
Nah,
No, man, it's all love.
they
I'm
just
not
threw in that wrench for me, man. Because I told them that we need some wrenches in here, and then all of a sudden they just gave it to me.
oh
Yeah.
wow.
It's good to see
Yeah, I
you on the
pay
panel
attention.
too, Lisa.
I
It's
pay
my
attention.
first
Yeah.
time seeing you.
Oh
I pay
Yeah.
wow.
attention to everything.
Yeah,
hmm
it's good to see you too. Yeah. But I'm gonna just share this and let you guys
Why you
chop it
gonna
up.
run, Lisa? Don't run.
I'm not
Go ahead.
running, Myron. Myron, you
Yes, ma'am.
constantly interject, cut me off, and then you don't even let me get my thoughts out.
All
But
I'm
it's
saying,
all love. It's
though,
all love. I'm not leaving.
ain't
I'm
nobody
here.
cut you off all night. You've been able to say whatever you want.
Cat,
Don't
hasn't
throw
he been
that on
cutting
me.
me off, Cat? I'm
Oh, I
asking
know.
Cat.
They all been listening. I've let you just say what the hell you want to say, and then
I, I
wait
was
until you finish and throw in.
I was just gonna say that normally Gamboa wears very long trunks. In this particular fight, he had shorter trunks, which I noticed, and they were high. That was funny to me. But Devin, I guess, he's still growing and learning, and you know, it is what it is. So, all
Text,
right.
don't go nowhere, Lisa. Texting,
I'm
I
not
just saw.
going anywhere, Myron.
Okay, beautiful. I'm just man, I like you here. Well, I'm saying the Texan said,
Myron don't listen, guys.
I'm just trying to read a freaking comment from the Texan. I said, I don't want you to go nowhere. I like you here. Then you just jumped down my neck. Damn, what can a brother do? I just complimented you.
It's
It's
all love, Myron.
negativity here. And so the Texan said Haney threw in a trap, so to speak. Elaborate what you're saying, Texan.
I think I know I haven't. I'll be honest, man. Like I'm gonna put it right there and say I haven't seen the fight, but I've heard about it though, and it doesn't surprise me though, to be honest. Like that Haney put on that type of performance because like you have to keep in mind, man. Haney is like a guy that fights like very neutral, if you get what I mean, and like he's that type of
No,
guy,
I don't.
man. Like who?
No, I don't.
hmm
I don't
Huh?
know what you mean. What you mean?
Like he fights very neutral. Like he doesn't like go for anything. You know, he's just there to win perfectly. Like he's almost like a perfectionist. And when you're a perfectionist, man, like you don't want to make no flaws. You want everything to be squeaky clean. You know.
Okay, hold up.
And
Perfectionist. Elaborate. You talking about? Are you saying he's trying to just like look like hit about hit and miss perfectly?
yeah,
Is he trying to
pretty
land
much,
the
man.
best?
Like and working on whatever assets that he needs to refine before like he actually gradually steps up. Because it looks like to me that he's gradually stepping up into his
Okay.
competition. And
So
when I say throw,
how do you rate his performance versus Gamboa? A through F.
I haven't seen it, man. Remember I told you I haven't seen it yet, but
I
I've
think
heard
F.
about it. I've heard about it, but it doesn't surprise me because I've seen Haney's performances before, you know. And to be honest, man, like maybe perhaps this is a thing where Haney threw in a trap, and I know that you've read The Art of War,
Yes.
and if you get what I mean right there, that's why I've been like I've been like repeating. You get what I mean when I say threw in a trap. You think that might be the case, or that could be left up into interpretation?
No, I don't think he was in a trap. I thought Immortal Boxing Talk, take over, and then I answer that question.
um, take over with what? What am I doing? What am I supposed to be saying?
Answer that man's question for me.
Can you repeat the question? Because I don't know what Myron's telling me to
Haney
do.
was thrown in a trap, perhaps. He said Haney was thrown in a trap, so to speak, versus Gamboa.
That Haney was thrown into a trap, or that he threw a trap?
Through a
Thrown into
trap,
it.
yeah. No,
He.
through a trap, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't quite understand what you mean by this. If anything, I
Oh,
felt.
like what I was like saying in the comment was like when Myron was talking about the performance that Haney was doing, and I was thinking to myself, you know what? I think maybe it could be left up into interpretation for anyone else, but I think maybe Haney threw in a trap just to take Gamboa the distance and stuff like that. But that would be too much out of the realm of
You said, are
possibility.
you saying what
I
was
get
Haney?
you.
Was
The
Haney
texting, I
thrown?
got what you
Was Haney?
saying.
Hold on. Was Haney
Yep.
thrown in a trap? You saying, or he threw a trap in for Gamboa? Was he thrown in a trap?
Yeah, throwing in a
It's
trap for the other opposition that are like outside of like
Oh, okay.
right.
yeah.
Yeah, he threw the bait out there,
That did
make it
come to
look
my.
like
Hey, you know
listen,
what? That came
he
to my
threw the
mind.
bait out there to make it look like
Yes.
yes, I
I
got
thought
what you're
that.
saying, Texan. I picked up on it.
I threw that. I
And
threw that out
people
there.
think, oh, whatever. And then that way he can get the fights,
Hey, you know what? No bullshit.
the bigger fights.
Did
That's
that
the
come to
art
my
of
mind?
war.
Oh, yeah. Did that come to my
Yes,
mind?
indeed.
Yes. That came to my mind. That did come to my mind. I will admit to that 300%. That's a possibility. What you think, Immortal? Go ahead.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like, he played played possum a little bit, didn't perform to his best, so that people could see him as a vulnerable target, and thus, maybe some of the bigger matchups that he wants to seek out can approach him. I understand that perspective, but I personally don't feel that's the case. But that's just my opinion. I can understand why you'd come to that conclusion
Elaborate
after.
why you don't feel that's the case. Give us the good shit.
I didn't see a lot of things that like I didn't see a diminished Haney. I just saw Haney doing the same thing. He was on one gear, kind of like what Texan said. He was very neutral. He's very passive. He was on one gear the entire fight. I never saw any urgency from him. I never saw any I didn't see any, offensive traps set. I didn't see any defensive traps set. I just really saw a jab battle, and every once in a while he would throw a
A
jab
one
left
and a
hook.
right, right? A 1-2.
Yeah, a 1-2 or a one left hook. Everything was a jab into insert something else. Jab, move away. Jab, block. Jab, 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 left hook. Jab, right hand. But I never saw him jab, pull back, wait for Gamboa to come with the jab, throw the right hand down the pipe. Maybe put some weight on it so you can hurt him a little bit, or jab, take a step back, wait for Gamboa to come in, left hook. Like whenever he did try that, it didn't land clean. So I just think overall his performance, while he won decisively, it wasn't as clean as I think people are making it out to be. He got touched up quite a bit, even though Gamboa is on a big puncher like that. He still was tagged, and I think against guys with longer reach, more power, more movement, more athleticism, right? We know Gamboa is not the same Gamboa that he was 10 years ago when he defeated Orlando Salido and Jorge Solis at featherweight. This is a very different Gamboa, and he's more crafty and he's more experienced, but that doesn't make him better, right? I'd say we can agree he's regressed since. So I think with Haney, I would just like to see a little more initiative. I'd like him to develop his front foot game a little more because it seemed like he was relying on the opponent coming forward. And I'd also like to see him, like Lisa said, he's still young, 21 years old. He's still growing into his man strength, as you mentioned earlier. So it might take some time, but I think if he could work on some strength and conditioning, just get some more of that power, or maybe place his shots a little better. And I think Gamboa could have been, he could have been taken out there. Like there were definitely moments and opportunities available that he didn't take advantage of.
Great analysis. Great
You know
analysis.
what?
IBT.
Thank you, IBT. The Texan, I just got to ask you a question.
Hmm.
When what you were stating earlier, I almost got the impression you didn't say it, but is does Haney admire his work?
I mean, it could be a little bit of both,
Good
to be
question.
honest.
Great question, Lisa.
Hmm.
Okay, thanks.
Go ahead, Texas. Elaborate.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, but I'm also thinking that Bill Haney has some type of involvement, with the development of Devin Haney, as a fighter, in terms of his skill set, because he is the one that is dictating most of the time, like every round of like what Devin Haney should do, and he's seen in there like what he should be working on and everything like that. I mean, this is a guy that's been taking Devin Haney to all these types of trainers, Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather, like just showing him like all of this type of stuff, where he's like a sponge absorbing all this knowledge, man, and he's just trying to converge it so far right now. So I think it's a little bit on Haney as well, like in how he chooses to go with things, but it's also Bill Haney contributing like to him as well.
Mm. You- mm.
Yeah,
Good.
great point.
Great
Yeah.
comment. Great comment. Excellent comment. Okay. What did Will Stokes here say? Not even a big fan. Yeah, it's just false. Um, here's what I thought, and here's what I said. I don't know if maybe y'all was watching and just didn't like, or maybe saw it on the playback. I thought, and my opinion is, and this might not be popular to say online, but I've already said it once or twice, so I might as well say it again. Um, I think Haney may better get his ass down in Vegas more than fucking LA. I think and what let me say what I actually said. Maybe Bill Haney need to bring in other people. I'm not going to say exactly what I said before, but let's just say he brings in other people to help with the tutelage of Devin. and the bringing up, because you can't be no Roger. Bill Haney can't be a Roger or a Floyd Mayweather Sr. without going through what Roger and Floyd Mayweather Sr. went through. Devin Haney is not of the pedigree of a Floyd Mayweather Sr., but he tries to fight like him. So, and when you talk about Floyd Mayweather, when you have this generation that's coming up and they're emulating the fighting style of a Floyd Mayweather Sr., he is the number one man to emulate of this generation because he is who he is, TBE, and what he's done. You got to also equate the fact that Floyd Mayweather Sr. was born with the pedigree. He was just born with it. Ain't no cut and chase. He was born with it. He was raised with it. He was raised through it. This is all the fuck he ever knew. His IQ at 16 was higher than these fighters at 30 in boxing. And this is what people got to understand. You're not going to there's not going to be another Floyd Mayweather. So for this generation. So if you are going to try to have a fighter that's going to be, say, a Devin Haney, that's going to try to duplicate and do something close to what Floyd Mayweather did, you better have near the Floyd Mayweather camp. You know what I mean? And I remember Bill Haney had that thing, whatever he was going, that thing back and forth with Floyd Mayweather Sr. is like, yo, I brought my son up. They can't take credit, such and such. I don't know if with Bill Haney, if it's an ego thing or if he wants glory like a senior Roger, or, you know what I mean, like what now Teofimo Sr. has received. But he needs to go ahead, I think, and do what's best for Haney. Because Haney, he looked good versus Gamboa, but he did not look spectacular. Let me just put it like that. The most easiest way to put it. He looked good versus Gamboa. He didn't look spectacular. And I thought it was places where, okay, even if he was going to throw in a trap in there, he still needed to show parts in that fight where where you really seen the ultimate potential. And I think nowhere in that fight versus Gamboa, we was able to still see flashes of the upside and the potential of Devin Haney in there. So my shit more agree with Immortal Boxing Talk, IBT, where it's like, damn. I'm not gonna say I was disappointed, but I was, after the fight, expecting more. And that's why when I rated my top 5 of the Fabulous 5, he's 5. Devin Haney is 5 of my Fabulous 5. And that Fabulous 5 is, of course, Teofimo, Tank, Shakur, and that motherfucker is coming. Shakur Stevenson, that is. So Teofimo, Tank, Shakur, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney is 5. My rankings of them now. Now, that is as of now, and that could change really rapidly, depending on how in the next year or 2, 3 years, whatever, how they go. But that's why I rank Devin Haney now amongst the Fab 5 that can perhaps bring us to the next golden era of boxing. So I just think the upside is tremendously there. His physicality, the long arms. Devin Haney is 5'8", but still has the longest reach out of all of the 5. If people don't recognize that, which is a 71-inch reach. I mean, he has the physicality to be strong. Now, but the one who fights the most like Mayweather at this moment, as far as the reflexes, the footwork, the control of distance and everything, out of all 5 right now, is Shakur. He is scary. So, and he just moved up to 130. So, and he's 5'8" as long. So I'm like, he's going to be on these guys' heels really quick. And right now, with you see what he's bringing out, he's talking a lot more. He's talking like, yo, okay, now is the time. I'm like, holy shit. You know what I mean? He's going to be chomping down these brothers fast. So Devin Haney better, um, he got to do something spectacular soon so that he won't fall further in the back. Because depending on how Ryan Garcia does versus Luke Campbell, will determine the separation from these four and him. You feel me? How Ryan Garcia does versus Luke Campbell, which is can we all agree that's better opposition than Gamboa at this
Yeah.
time?
Agree.
Yeah.
How Ryan Garcia, and it's all of however Ryan Garcia performs versus Luke Campbell will determine in my mind how like wow, okay, then the distance may be further between them and Haney. So, and I don't want the distance to fall that if there is a distance, I don't want it to fall that far apart. And so I want Haney. I want if Bill Haney has to step aside and like get down there, and we see more of the videos him training with Mayweather and getting that shit in, then I want Haney to do that. And I want Bill Haney to be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I want you to get the best because I want you to be the best. And I don't want to be, it's not about me. It's about you. I'm done.
Yeah. I don't know. Um, I'll say this. There's nobody on Ryan's resume that's better than Gamboa.
Not yet.
Yeah. And Tio has Loma.
But
Tank not as good as Gamboa, I
but
wouldn't say.
December 5th can change all of that.
Who's
Yeah,
fighting
but
on December the 5th?
What?
Ryan versus Luke Campbell.
Luke
Oh,
Campbell,
Ryan and Luke. Okay.
yeah. It's somebody who's still young, lively, and just took Lomachenko to 12 rounds.
Right.
It only has 2 losses on his record, and it's still very young. Silver medalist.
Right.
I think he's a gold medalist, but that was at bantamweight.
You say he won a what?
Luke Campbell?
Luke Campbell won a gold
Gold
medal at the
medalist.
Olympics
Yeah.
before he won a silver medal.
Yep.
He's a gold medalist, but the division he campaigned at in the Olympics and that he won the gold medal was bantamweight. But that happens with a lot of these fighters.
I didn't even know that shit. Are you serious?
Yeah.
So
Luke
what Olympics was
Campbell.
that? So he won the silver medal in the 2016.
Campbell?
Yeah, it was that
I don't think he
2016.
was in 2016.
No. Yeah, no, he was already a pro by then, well into his pro
Yeah.
career. He got the gold medal at,
2012 silver
at
medal.
the London Games 2012 bantamweight.
So you telling me in 2008 he was at the Olympics? What was that? Rio?
No, he was only a one-time Olympian, which was the gold medal that he got in 2012. But he was also someone who competed in the European Championships and the World Championships. And I believe in the World Championships he got either a bronze or silver. So
He didn't win a
maybe
gold medal in the Olympics.
yeah, he did. 2012 London Games bantamweight gold medalist.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw a silver medalist on what I looked at.
I think silver medalist must be for the World Championship then. The amateur World Championships. They're a similar format to the Olympic, but they're obviously not as prestigious, right?
Obviously, absolutely. Well, damn.
If you want to Google it, and
I'm doing
hopefully,
it right now.
yeah, okay. Just look for his amateur background.
Okay, so a gold medalist. So there you go.
Yeah.
Even better.
So what do you think? So hey, what do y'all guys think of Canelo and Caleb?
Oh yeah, man, that's one of my favorite fights, man. That's like one of my dream fights that I've been waiting for years, man. My God, man. I didn't think it would happen so quick, to be honest, man. But
Just out of
I
nowhere,
think
right?
Caleb playing. Uh-huh.
Just out of nowhere, just like, oh, look, it's on Boxer.
Yeah,
Like, oh.
pretty much. But
Do
I
you
think
think?
Caleb Plant has a big chance to win this fight, man.
Do you think? Okay, we can say Caleb is a similar fighter to Billy Joe Saunders, can't we?
I mean, he's defensive and he's slick, but I think they're like, I don't know. I think they're both defensive and slick, but in different ways, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get
Billy
what you
Joe's
mean.
more awkward and Caleb Plant's more of a like textbook back foot boxer.
As long as it's effective, it don't matter. But what I'm saying is, there are punchers who make you miss and hit you more often than you hit them, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Slick fight-
agree.
There's slick fighters that will hit you way more often than you hit them. So again, who you think would have been a tougher opponent, Billy Joe or Caleb?
I think I think Caleb Plant represents a bigger challenge because Billy Joe Saunders in his most recent performances at 168, although we know he's a very good fighter and sometimes he kind of underperforms. For example, in the Cosieres fight, the last fight he had, he does
Right.
underperform against lower level opposition and shows up against the big guys, but it's just hard because he hasn't fought a big guy at 168 yet, right? He won his title off a vacancy from Isu something. I forget his last name, like Shifui or something like that. But the opponent, he wasn't elite level. He wasn't A level, B level even, right? So I just think Caleb Plant is more proven at the division, considering he actually beat a world champion to gain his IBF title.
Mm, gotcha. Yeah, he was gold medalist 2012 men's bantamweight. Okay. Shit. He was a bantamweight at that fucking height. Fucking Luke Campbell was a bantamweight.
Yeah, skinny, super skinny kid. He was probably only like 23 though at the time, 20, 22, 23. So
God, wow. So, who do y'all pick? What's your picks for the fight? Canelo, Caleb.
Plant unanimous decision.
Plant by unanimous. Break it down then. What the fuck? You ain't gonna put no shit out there versus
I thought you'd never
Soul
ask, Myron
Alvarez.
Magnus.
Huh?
I thought you'd never ask, man.
Break it down, shit. Please do.
Woohoo, man. Man, I'm telling you, man, Canelo, it's like what IBT pretty much summed up, with this is gonna be Canelo's first time facing a guy like of this magnitude at super middleweight. Think about it like this, man. Caleb Plant has the dimensions. I think he has a 74-inch reach. He has a solid jab, very good footwork, and the difference between him and Billy Joe Saunders, I was about to get to that, is I gotta admit, man, Billy Joe Saunders is pretty fast-footed, but economically, I think Caleb Plant is a little bit more better when you think about it, because like Caleb Plant understands how to think outside the box, and when I say think outside the box, man, like he's able to do things that are like tricks of the trade when let's say on the inside, he's gonna throw a punch in the clinch, unlike some other fighters, like he's gonna do some stuff that is probably gonna make Canelo feel a little too uncomfortable, man. Because I've seen who Caleb Plant surrounds himself with, and when I see who he surrounds himself with, like James Toney at the Mayweather gym too, like I'm seeing all of this, man, and then like I see a clip from Fight Hype. I know I've mentioned this in another stream where James Toney is literally telling them how to beat Canelo. Like he's telling them this is how you beat Canelo. Literally saying his words, man. You could go search it up or something like that. This is a fight that
So,
he's been.
hey,
Mhm,
hey, 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 hold up.
yeah. Mhm.
What's the title of that video?
Caleb Plant. Oh man, he's training with James Toney, and I think James Toney has the white beard already.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna find that. I want to see that because James Tony
Might be
was.
last year. Hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, man, I think Caleb Plant is a very fundamentally sound fighter, a lot more than Billy Joe Saunders. And I think that's what's going to win him the fight against Canelo, man, because he knows how to dictate range. I know a lot of people are going to say resume, 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 but did that apply to Teofimo Lopez versus Lomachenko? I know that's like two different styles and everything like that, but it still doesn't change the fact that fundamentals are in play, man. Teofimo Lopez had a solid jab, man, and that's really pretty much like majority of the fight of how he controlled it against Lomachenko. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it's not outside the realm of possibility, man, that Caleb Plant might actually pack a lot more punch than a lot of people realize, enough for Canelo to respect that. And that kind of might play a role, like in the fight where is Canelo going to respect Caleb Plant's power enough just to go in? But when I see Canelo, man, like he's not exact. I'm not going to say he's like flat-footed as he used to be like before fighting Floyd Mayweather, but he does like kind of like stay too much like in the front, on the heavy front foot heavy, basically, man.
He's
Like,
slow footed. He's slow footed.
yeah, pretty much. And I
Nobody
think Caleb
say
Plant,
that, but everybody know that about Canelo.
yeah, man. Like, I think Caleb Plant will just keep that stick on him, man, and like just basically keep a lot of punch variety on Canelo. And when I see Caleb Plant like throw certain punches, like a lead uppercut and all of that, I don't think Canelo has faced like that much of a punch variety in a while, especially with a guy with Caleb Plant's dimensions. And it's a good fight, man. That's why I'm looking forward to it. But the only issue that with Caleb Plant is his stamina, like in the very later rounds. Like if you saw against Uzcategui, man, he was getting tired like later on in the fight. I think it was like the last 3 rounds where like
Yeah.
he was getting hit a little bit more.
Really?
And yeah, that's my only issue with it. But I think he'll grind it out.
Okay. And the thing is, keep in mind, I'm just going to interject. IBT, you take over the Lisa Bells. I don't think when I say Canelo's a little slow footed, that's just the facts. But once you have experience and once you have had a certain amount of fights and a number amount of experience, you know your weaknesses and your strengths, and you learn how to set traps and have fighters, of course, play to you. That doesn't magnify your weaknesses. I mean, magnify your strength. I mean, yeah, your weaknesses is what I meant to say. So I'm sure that's been the case with. The thing is, I watched Canelo for a long time. It seems he was a lot faster footed at welterweight back in the day. But as he moved up in weight, he's become more slow footed. And also that might be a part of the knee issue, with the injury. But I mean, I think Canelo's so witty and that good where he can work around it and learn to adjust and adapt. And that's what makes the great fighters. So even though I say yes, he's a little slow footed, people, that doesn't mean he's any less better because of it. Go ahead, bro. IBT and Lisa.
I
What you
just
think?
got a question before IBT comes on. I'm sorry, IBT. I didn't mean to
You're fine. Go.
jump in. I
Yes.
have a question. What is wrong with Canelo's knees? Is it cartilage
Well,
degeneration?
he fell off the who remember he had a
There were, yeah. Can I say something? There were reports that he had like a cyst in his knee and they had to take it out or something like that. But that was like from a Mexican article that I read.
I heard that he had an injury. He fell off a horseback.
Okay.
He was riding and fell off a horseback and injured his knee. So who shit? It might be fucking folklore. I don't know. What you say, think IBT?
Yeah, so from what I've heard, it was a cyst, right? And those I'm not going to pretend I understand exactly how they work, but I do believe that it's like some sort of overgrowth or like just the cells moving weird, acting weird. I'm not quite sure on the actual science of it, but yeah, for that fight, I'm glad to hear people are picking Plant because I truly do believe this is going to be a more difficult fight than some people are making it out to be, right? Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys know or not, but if you look at the height and reach of Caleb Plant, he is the longest and tallest opponent Canelo would have faced to this day, right? So, judging by that, as well as the style he presents and the skill set that he has exhibited in his fights, the guy is a very good technical boxer. He's a good back foot boxer, and he's genuinely slick, right? So I'm interested to see how their styles mesh together. I think it'll be a very entertaining fight. And I know the fight's not quite confirmed yet, but I really hope it does get confirmed within the week or so because That's a very exciting fight for me, and I can see that being like a 55-45 or 60-40, whatever way you want to pick it. I'm thinking Canelo, just based off of the body work, the attack to the body. I think as much as Caleb Plant is slick, Canelo's also very slick on the front foot, something that's not very talked about in terms of his offensive game. Isn't just his power and body punches, but it's also how he's able to get on the inside without taking a lot of damage, right? So that's good for his career in terms of longevity, and I also think it'll be good going into the later rounds when Caleb Plant starts to gas out. I think he might be a little more fresh, and I think the body attack will have taken its wear. So I think he can win on points, Canelo. That's what my prediction is. Just
I want
early
to
though.
I want to see somebody take it to Canelo ass. I want to see somebody really take it to Canelo's ass. I want to see Canelo in a fucking classic war. And I think the mystique of Canelo that's been built around him has prevented fighters to come in and saying, fuck you. I have no respect for you. I'm coming here to beat the shit out of you. That's just my opinion. What do you guys think?
I think the only issue with that is that type of fight favors Canelo, right? If you want to look at the Triple G second fight, and I feel like that fight and the first fight represents Canelo entering his prime, his physical prime. Yeah, at that point, I believe he's 27, and he was able to get someone who has such a renowned, monstrous offensive prowess and force him to box on the back foot, right? I think if a guy like David Benavidez tried to truck Canelo, I think it'd be a bad idea. I think he'd be walking to a bunch of counter punches. I feel like that's when the defensive gap would show, right? If Canelo didn't have the defensive skills that he did have and the head movement that he had, I could understand why that would work. However, just seeing his defense in conjunction with his counter punching technique, I think especially a guy like David Benavidez who's very big, very David Benavidez is skilled. He's very big, and he can use that size and offensive. He's got a very good offensive game. I feel like if you try to bring that fight to Canelo, it'd be very exciting. But I feel like that would just make the counter punches worse. You know what I
I'm
mean?
not saying I think Canelo's of defensive. I mean, I'm gonna say this, put this on record. I think Canelo's defensive skills is overrated.
I don't think so.
Canelo's defensive skills is overrated because, just like I said before, fighters have not come to press him. Canelo has never been really truly pressed in a fight, and a fighter coming getting in his shit. And so when you have fighters who want to play the distance, and the last time, the only fighter to show glimpses to me of who really just pressed the, I mean, he didn't even press the issue, but he just a couple of times in certain places was in Canelo's shit and was hit Canelo. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, do that. But then he backed off, was the fight versus Danny Jacobs. But Canelo was taking some nasty rights and lefts. And I was like, okay, now we about to fight. But then he didn't. But I'm gonna leave that fight there. But I was like, I think Canelo's good. But again, like I said before, his mystique is more preceding him and the fights that he had, the mystique preceded him because of the fights he had before of knocking out people like Khan, the imagery and things like that, sticking his head. But he didn't knock out Cotto. You know what I'm saying? He didn't knock out Shane Mosley, fighters he much bigger than. He didn't knock out many fighters. So I want to see a fighter press Canelo. I mean, like, and then I would be able to judge how really good his defense of prowess is. Because Kovalev didn't press him, and Kovalev was the bigger fighter. I'm going to leave that fight where it is. But I want to see a fighter press Canelo. I want to see somebody bring it to him. Then I could properly gauge how good his defense is. Truly is. You know what I mean? Just based off mystique. You get what I'm going at?
I understand that. My only counter argument to that is I think guys like Kovalev, Triple G, and Jacobs would have pressed
Bro, it's
Canelo.
not an argument.
No, I'm not
It's
arguing. I'm not
That's
arguing.
just my opinion, and you have yours.
Yeah, I'm not arguing. I'm just saying why my opinion is his defense is good, right? I think that if they were to have pressed him, and the moments in which they did press him, they paid with counter punches, right? So when they opened themselves up for that offense, they got to be ready
Facts.
for what's coming back, and they weren't. So if you can get someone who's that big or that strong or that much, like, you've got to have the perfect fighter to do what you're saying, and I think it'd be very
I don't
interesting
think
to
you
see
do.
what would happen. I think it'd be
I,
very interesting to see what would happen.
I don't think it has to be the perfect fighter. I think it has to be a fighter who don't overly respect him. That has nothing to do with a perfect fighter. It has to do with a fighter who's not going to give him more respect than he deserves. Go ahead, Lisa.
That sounds like Billy Joe Saunders to me.
Duh. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? A fighter who just don't give a fuck. He's Canelo. Who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? And again, it's about mystique. This is what Tyson's career is built off of, more than half his career. Until somebody came in and said, fuck you. So, and that's just one example. There's many others. Same as Chavez, until Pernell said, fuck you. Who are you? So I honestly think Canelo's in that category. And when I see him in that fight, then we'll be able to properly judge. Is Canelo number one pound for pound? No. Top five? Yes. Without a doubt. But
Okay, when you're talking about when when Floyd beat Canelo, Canelo was very young. He was outclassed
no, I'm
as
talking about,
far as
I said, did I say Floyd over Canelo? Or do I said Pernell over Chavez?
no. I was talking about
Okay.
Canelo.
Yeah.
Um Now, out of all the fights that I've seen of Canelo, I've never really seen him get beat down. Like somebody just bring it to him like that
Yeah. Floyd didn't
and
bring
beat
it
him
to him.
down.
Floyd,
I've never even seen Canelo get dropped because he
I don't
got a
think
real granite chin.
Canelo, the closest time Canelo got dropped was when he fought early on at like the
Jose Miguel Cotto in 2010.
no, before that. It was the 140 division. And he was hooking with the left hooker, a bald-headed a bald-headed Latino cat, and the cat hit him with the left hook and he almost buckled. And he was surviving that round. And that's what I said. That's what my comment. I'll look it up and I'll bring his name up to you right
I,
now in
Man,
a
that's
minute.
probably like at a casino or something, huh?
I think it is Jose Miguel Cotto, not Miguel Cotto,
No, no, it
not
was
that
not Miguel
Miguel Cotto,
Cotto.
his brother.
Hmm.
Oh, he got a brother that boxed too. I didn't know that.
Yeah. His name is Jose Miguel Cotto. The fight happened in
But I
2010,
think he's
and
talking. I think Myron is talking about like an earlier fight. You know, like
Look,
where
he got
cause
hit with a left
mhm.
hook. He was hooking with a left hooker, and he got hit with this fuck. That's one of my first times I seen Canelo fight live, personally. And you know what? I saw the fight, and when I saw that fight, I was like, I like that motherfucker. Speaking of Canelo, because he took that left hook, and I mean, he took a hellacious one, and that motherfucker, he buckled, was like, oh shit, and was skirming all around that motherfucker, but he kept his composure, and he did everything he needed to do to evade, punch, try to get his head back, but there was the end of the round. He ran again the next round a little bit, evaded, but then come the later round after that, he got back on his shit. And I was like, that motherfucker's going to be good. This person is Canelo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, his movement, he moved more in that fight. His movement in that fight, he looked like a boxer. And that's why I know Canelo is great at boxing, literally. I know he's a great boxer. I seen him in that fight and I was looking at him. I was like, that motherfucker's going to be good. You're right. And that's when he took that left hook. I was like, he got a hell of a chin because he took this shit so flush. And I was just like, oh my God. And I was like, anybody else would have went down or out. Canelo didn't. So, Virus, Canelo having an amazing chin, granite chin, like you said, Lisa, true indeed. He got that. But his movement was great in that fight. And you know what? And to be honest with you, I ain't seen him show that same movement since that fight. And maybe because he put on more weight and Harry went on or whatever, but he was a better mover at 140 when he first came in than he was moving up to 154, 160. And so, and I was just like, I don't know if to test that to the knee or to whatever it is, but I just know that I didn't mean to go on a tangent, but I know that he's just I know Canelo has a hell of a chin and he's a good boxer, but only since that fight when he got hit that really hard and leading up to now that I've seen noticed a guy really press him and put onto him. I saw the beating he put on Shane Mosley. I saw, you know what I mean, of course, Kirk Franklin. We seen that. We saw the
Kirk Franklin. So gospel singer.
James Kirkland, I guess.
James Kirkland.
Oh,
Yeah, James Kirkland.
yeah.
I mixed the names up. James Kirkland and all that. I saw the Lara fight and I was like, okay. And then I saw other fights and I was just like, okay. You know what I mean? But Floyd, get back to the point, Floyd didn't press him during that fight. Floyd let him come and Floyd was just schooling him off of counter punches and letting him come forward. Floyd didn't press that fight that much because I think and that was a Floyd and Canelo, Floyd and Mayweather co-promoted event, correct? And we all knew what that fight was. You know what I'm saying? That was this very equivalent to a De La Hoya and Floyd fight, but Floyd won. And so
Right.
the only difference in that. So we knew what they was doing this, and that's how it goes into the business. And you got to respect that. And it's nothing. I'm not knocking that. You got to pass. So he's like passed the mantle, but didn't pass the mantle. And
Right.
so Canelo built off of that. But I want to see more people. We have not seen a fighter then from that point on press Canelo. Somebody really come into Canelo and said and bring it to him with everything. And regardless of not worrying about a counters and all that. And yes, counters is good and all that. But Canelo isn't the fastest puncher. Canelo has decent speed, but he ain't the fastest speed. And Canelo works more off his timing than anything. Canelo thing is timing, figuring you out, and then timing you. It's not Canelo game is not based off speed. It's based off his experience and timing, more so. And that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. You know what I'm saying? So one other thing is, do you think Caleb Plant is going to press him, Texan? If
It's
Caleb Plant
possible.
if he presses him, how is Caleb Plant's chin?
That's the biggest question, man. I'm not gonna lie. Even though I'm picking Caleb Plant, that kind of concerns me, believe it or not. And the only thing to counteract that is how will Canelo react to the different punch variety that Caleb Plant would bring?
Okay.
He took some pretty good shots from Uskatoski.
Is Usatoski known as a strong puncher?
He got decent power.
Yeah, he's got a fairly good power. It was Katagi. His knockout ratio. Let me pull it up. I don't actually know it like that. Yeah, he's a good puncher. 24 knockouts, 29 wins, 4 losses, all by decision.
Okay.
So Uskatigi rarely, and his wins rarely goes to the decision. He happened to lose that one, right? Yeah, he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter, and Caleb Plant outclassed him clearly.
But yeah, Myron, I wanted to add on to a point that you were making earlier about Canelo being in a fight where like he's thinking to himself, damn, like he looks
We,
at himself in the mirror and he's like,
we ain't seen that
was I
yet.
really in one? Yeah, man. You know, like I was actually, I think 2 years ago, I was actually listening to a broadcast with Marquez and Chavez Sr. talking about Canelo's career and all of that, that it's missing something. And that
Yeah.
was that fight, you know? And
Yeah. I know. I know what
he's not
these
going to retire
motherfuckers are
without it.
saying. I'm not crazy. I'm not
Hmm.
crazy at all. Chavez was in those fights. You know what I mean? Like, motherfucker was taking it to him, whether it was Meldrick Taylor, Pernell Whitaker, or a late Oscar De La Hoya. They took it to his ass. You feel me?
And you know,
Oh
Marquez to Texan, you know the Marquez do not like Canelo. I
yeah.
have no idea why, but
No, no,
he
no.
he never
Okay.
liked
Then ask.
Canelo.
Then okay. Then the
But I
question
think
is,
Chavez Senior keeps it
hold up.
neutral. Hmm.
Okay, Lisa. If
I'm
you're gonna
not
put
talking
that,
about
if Lisa,
Chavez.
if
I'm
you're
talking
gonna
about
put,
Yeah,
Marquez.
yeah,
if you're
I
gonna
agree,
put that
Lisa.
out there, Chavez, yeah, because Chavez has had his thing. So if you're gonna ask that, ask why then. If you
I
not
don't. I'm
don't
not
you can't
sure.
just put that out there without giving a reason why then, because we just saying, oh, you don't like it because you don't like him, and then people don't go off. Put some substance to it. It's no substance to that statement. So
Can,
why don't the Marquez like Canelo then?
let me my theory, right? There's not he's not gone out and said I don't like him because of this, but my theory is that when he sees these young Latino fighters accomplishing a lot very young, I don't know if I think that kind of rubs him weirdly. I'm not quite sure because he's picked against Canelo multiple times. He's criticized Canelo. He said Jacobs beat Canelo, and when Teofimo Lopez was fighting Lomachenko, he said
I
he had Lomachenko winning or a draw or something like
I
that.
had Jacobs winning versus Canelo split.
I thought that was like a 116-112, very clear fight. I thought Canelo won 5 out of the first 6 rounds, and then there were
I
three
thought
apiece for
Jacobs.
the second half.
My apologies for interrupt. I thought Jacobs won too because I've watched that fight 500 fucking times, and that was the fight where I went live and try. I did a whole fucking. I did look. That fight was the fight that got me in trouble. I fucking literally replayed that fight. I did a video of that fight, videoing it, and me being the fucking caller, calling it blow by blow after the fight happened. I did. I did it. I put my camera up to that bitch, play the fight with me being a commentator, calling this shit blow by blow. I tried to upload it. The Zone said no.
No.
Personally, the Zone themselves said no. Shut the shit down. Dazen said no, Myron, you ain't doing this. So I was like, damn. And then that's when the shit started. But I learned from that mistake, me being foolish and doing that shit out in the open. I should have kept it to myself. But I've watched that fight tons of times. And okay, the best I give it, if anything was fair, it should have been a draw. If anything was fair in that fight, from Myron Magnus, Boxing Logics United. But again, it wasn't a war. And it's like we were saying back then, he is a Mexican. And after the fight versus Iris Lady Laura, not going to say my comments on that fight. He said after that fight, what? His own words was, I don't, paraphrasing, I don't like all these fighters that move and all this too much. I want to go toe to toe and fight and bang. Did he not say that after the
Uh,
Laura fight? Yes, he
probably,
did.
probably.
Yeah, that I said paraphrasing, but that's what he fucking said. And you know who heard that? Americans, and who else? Mexicans. So if he didn't show that afterwards, then perhaps the Mexican fans are just as critical of their fighters as we are of our fighters.
Yes, they are.
Bingo. So if you got Marquez talking out there, not just Marquez, Barrera. See, y'all only want to throw Marquez out there, but Marcos Barrera saying the same shit. Those are two legends. All right? Let's not act like it's just one. You got Marcos, Marquez, Barrera, and somebody. Oh boy, what's his name? Another
Morales.
legend,
Morales.
Morales. That said the shit. That's three. I'm gonna deal with the three more than I deal with just one Chavez, because that's odds right there. That's 3 out of 4. So regardless of what we want to spin this shit, twist it, and here come Troy Graham in the building. Regardless how we want to spin it and twist it,
What's up,
you got
Troy?
three legends. You got three legends that's saying Canelo ain't fighting or representing Mexico the way ideally the fighters before him has. And that's why I feel the pushback is come from. Honestly, y'all know I play it down the middle. Y'all know I ain't cutting no edges. That's what it is. So if you got Marquez, Morales, and Barrera all saying the same thing,
So let me ask you a question, Myron, before Troy comes on. Uh, who who would give him that type of fight? Like, I don't understand. Like, you talking about like what, the
who would give
Triple
him that type of
G's?
fight? Somebody who don't somebody who's not in awe of him. You
Okay.
know who? You know who's? You know who I think the two fighters? I think the three fighters. I think that want to give it to his ass.
Who?
Two of them are the zone, and one is PBC.
Who are they?
Andrade,
Billy Joe and
Billy
Charlo.
Joe, and Charlo.
Why? Why? Because what it would do for them in their career.
Catapulted.
They all want to be above him. So Triple G couldn't get it done really concisely in two fights. So throw him out of there. Okay. But
But he got the support from the Mexicans.
I don't give a fuck who he got support from. He didn't take it to Canelo like he was supposed to. So to do all that yakking, and win all these fights like he want, he supposed to bring it to him because Canelo is the man. So to be the man, you gotta really really beat the motherfucking man. You know what I'm saying? We already know what it is. So we already regurgitate what it is if it goes to the Jays. Okay, I hate regurgitating that shit. That's why I said the Jays. To beat the man, they gotta really, really beat that motherfucker down, show him no respect, and go at him. The only ones I think truly three who's gonna do that, they're gonna understand is Canelo. They better be fucking cautious. But they're not gonna I don't think they're gonna let the opportunity slip away of showing who they truly are. Now, to be honest, only two out of that three, and I'm not gonna say their names, two out of that three have the best opportunity than the one out of that three. But I think they're going to motherfucking if it's a prime Billy Joe, I think that'll be one of those fights to bring the best out of Billy Joe without a doubt. So, but and I think they kind of know that. But um, I think even I was gonna say, but I think I don't, I think Billy Joe right now is the best out of the first Charlo and Andre, maybe to give him the best. But the thing is, what Charlo is, he might have the potential to hurt fucking Canelo. But then again, we it's still and he's had a great fight versus Deverenchenko, which boosted up his confidence. So going to a Canelo fight, that might be that might be good for him because he done beat a Deverenchenko, which was a good fight, and I think Deverenchenko is an amazing fighter, and I think he beat Gennady Golovkin in their last fight. I'ma say it. He beat Gennady Golovkin. I think we all understand that, especially Lou DiBella feel how I feel because he's been saying that shit forever. Most people saw that fight thought um, Deverenchenko beat Gennady Golovkin, and so I think Charlo would do excellent well, and taking that mantle and bringing it to the PBC will make him. It's the only thing right now he could do that might boost him over his brother, because his brother now is like consolidating the whole 154 class at this moment. So, but anyway, y'all go ahead, Troy Graham. I'm done.
Hey, I saw it. I got up like an old man to go pee.
We
So
can barely hear you, Troy.
Oh, hold on, Myron. I got you on.
So I mean, but if Caleb, I gotta watch a Caleb fight tonight. I gotta watch a couple of Caleb fights. So what's the fight y'all recommend? What's the guy's name you said?
Jose Uzcategui.
Because he came out of nowhere, not just now. Caleb Plant to me, he came out of nowhere. Now I just not here. Jose has okay. I got to do my homework on him and watch at least three of his fights. The last three.
He fought Darrell. Remember his uncle?
I didn't watch the fight.
Sucker punched him.
I didn't watch the fight. I'm gonna watch him. I'm gonna watch him all within the next 2 days. I'm gonna watch at least 3 fights within the next 2 days. So he's gonna be on my list now, watching and studying him and everything. Caleb Plant.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Who's gonna bring that motherfucker fight to Canelo? Who out of y'all that's thick will bring that motherfucking like fuck this? I want all the fucking glory. Do y'all think Caleb Plant gonna do that?
No. That would be
Charlo's the only one I think may do it.
Charlo. Texas
Go ahead,
thinks
IBT.
Caleb Plant. Texas thinks Caleb Plant gonna do it.
I don't think it would be in his best interest to press Canelo like that. I think he has to gain his respect, certainly. But I don't think him coming forward would be a good idea. I think that'd play right into Canelo's hands. I don't think his front foot game is nearly as good as his back foot game. He's a very good technical boxer, and I think it'd be a waste for him to just throw away his game plan like that.
I think Caleb Plant would actually do it, but from both aspects of boxing and bringing it to him, man. But think about it like this: if he brings that type of game plan where he just like mixes it up, it's just gonna throw off Canelo, man, and that's part of Caleb Plant's mindset, just to throw off the opponent like that. Of course, like he's not just gonna get too greedy. That's the point. Like that, I hope
put his fight
doesn't
on right
do.
fucking now. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was already finishing up my point, man. That Caleb Plant shouldn't get too greedy.
How is Caleb's power?
Caleb's power?
He's got solid
pretty
power.
Respectable.
He has decent power.
Yeah, decent. He's not feather fisted, but he's not heavy handed. He's just
Okay, to make you respect him.
Yeah, most. I don't know about most of his fights, but more of his fights recently have gone to decision. Only his early fights in his career went to stoppage, excluding his last 2 defenses of the title.
Yeah, I've never
How many
seen.
knockouts? What's his record?
20-0, 12 KOs.
Ooh, 20-0.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's a young guy as well. He's only 28 years old.
Oh yeah, he might be food for Canelo.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love them odds, man. I love them odds.
Huh?
I'm loving them odds, though, to be honest, too.
How old is Caleb?
Caleb's only 28 years old.
He's 2 years younger than Canelo, by the way.
These guys are starting. What's up with the American fighters starting boxing at 18 and shit, and not fucking 10 like we used to see?
Well,
yeah, that's a good
notice,
point.
y'all noticed that, right? They started fighting at 18, 19, 20.
Plant has only been a pro for about 6 years, I want to say.
And
6 years.
how deep is his amateur career? Most of us, we ain't versing most of these guys' amateur careers lately because they don't have a very extensive amateur career.
Yeah, he's been boxing since the age of 8 years old. He won the 2011 Golden Gloves.
Okay.
Wait, I'm not sure if he won or he got a silver medal. It says he won in the text, but it says silver medal in the icon. So his amateur career isn't super deep, but he he has been boxing for a very long time, and he was an alternate for the 2012 Summer Olympics, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's also the tallest and longest opponent Canelo has faced. 6'1", 74-inch reach, 28 years old. Like I said, he's a good boxer. I'm just worried about his stamina late, especially with Canelo's body attack.
Got you. Yeah, he's young.
Yeah, he's young.
I mean, amateur. I mean, as far as experience wise. Damn. Okay. 20 fights. Shit.
His most notable fights.
And you know what? And that Look, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't mean to cut you off, IBT. My apologies.
You're fine.
When I saw him make that fight, when I saw this was the fight that was coming up, I was like, how likely he make the fight with this motherfucker first? That was the first thing that came to my mind because I didn't know who the fuck Caleb was. I was like, where the fuck this dude coming from? And everybody talking about him last year and everything. Where the fuck he come from? But of course, I knew Billy Joe and all that. I was like, okay, is he going with the lighter, less experienced guy first? I mean, the motherfuckers, Jose Uzakati. Okay, the strategy in boxing is all I'm saying in the matchmaking. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd say the fights you would probably want to look at for him and Tex, and you can tag in or you can let me know if you think it should be different. But if you're going to be watching 3, it should be the Porky Medina fight, the Jose Uzcategui fight.
I'm watching
and,
that fight. I just put the fight on.
Yeah, okay, and the
Okay.
Vincent Feigenbutz, just because that's his most recent performance.
Got you. Does he have a strong? So has he ever been dropped?
I don't believe so.
I've never seen Plant fight before, to be honest.
Yeah, that's why I need to get my shit up on him.
Yes, I can't.
He's a good fighter.
Yeah, I can't comment on it, but let me ask a question. I'm still confused as to why Canelo got out of his contract. Was that about money or freedom or both, or what was that all about? And Myron.
You ask those guys; they know him more.
Yeah, and also Myron, it's 3 a.m, man. What is this like? Boxing
I don't give
booty.
a fuck, man. I'm living.
Let me finish. Let me finish my comment, Billy D. What is this boxing? Booty calls and logics. What's going on, man? I got up to go pee like an old man, and I noticed that you was on. So I said, let me go hail up the brethren real quick, right?
Hey, man.
Yeah.
I enjoy the people of the boxing community, to be honest.
And they like you because they in here too, man. I don't know everybody that's in here, but I know they enjoy you. But somebody give me the rundown on why the breakup.
Quite honestly, I learned from a lot of them. I learned from the Texan. I learned from IBT. I learned from Lisa Bells. I know I could pontificate quite a bit, but believe I'm listening. I am listening to what people say and taking their point of views, and it's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I just
right.
I mean,
when we see when we see fights now with Saunders and who else is out there besides Saunders that would make a good fight, I guess, with Canelo.
We've been talking about Saunders, Billy Joe. I mean,
Saunders, and honestly,
and Andre.
Honestly, I think it's time for Canelo to travel, man. Why doesn't he go to the UK? I heard that there's somebody over in Japan too. I don't really know.
Ryota Murata. He's the WBA regular champion.
Right,
WBA regular champion at 160.
Well, see, at 160, I don't think the cat could really make 160 too much anymore. 168 maybe, but fights like that.
You don't think Canelo can make 160
comfortably? No. I really don't. I think he's 168 is where he should be. Him and Jacobs are comfortable at 160 now. Can somebody explain the whole breakup thing with Golden Boy?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it in a nutshell. From what I know, that deal that I believe that from what I read that deal with the Zone was a Golden Boy deal. So Canelo, him and Oscar's been going through whatever they've been going through.
Yeah,
he wanted to know what was in the contract. You know what I'm saying? So apparently he was, supposed to be getting like 35 million per fight, but he also had to attract to get like people to sign up for the Zone. I can't explain it to put it in its proper context, but also he so the deal was really with Golden Boy because Golden Boy is his promoter. But he was the flagship, the star. Canelo's the big star, whatever. But apparently he didn't know what was in the contract, and like he was getting 35 million per fight. Not all fights, depending on what fights they were, but also but, but Golden Boy was getting like an extra 5 million. You know what I'm saying? So it could have been 40 million, but he didn't even know that. You know what I'm saying? So because Golden Boy still had to keep their company afloat. So I'm gonna just shut it
But
down
Golden
and
Boy was going to
just
get the 5 million due to rights fees, right? Rights.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But also Golden Boy has a responsibility to Canelo's a fiduciary duty. So
Yeah. What does fiduciary mean?
Money.
yeah, they had to that's their client. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I think it's a fiduciary duty to give him the fights he wanted. I think that was the main thing with Canelo. Now they're saying, I mean, Golden Boy was holding him back. Do y'all believe that?
A little, yeah, a little.
Why though?
yeah,
Why would
The
Golden Boy do that? So,
the main reason why I'm inclined to believe that, right, is there have just been moves on Golden Boy's side recently that would suggest that they have their own plan, even if it's at the expense of what Canelo states he wants. Right? He stated that he would like a unification or to keep his IBF title at middleweight, for example, and conveniently Golden Boy didn't file some paperwork in order to get a deadline extension, and then the vacant title went to Triple G versus Derevianchenko, and obviously Triple G wins, even though it's controversial, and bada boom, you got Triple G being a champion again. What
oh,
that
hold up.
means, what that means for Golden Boy, right, is it's better for Triple G to
You missing an important fact within that story though.
what's the important factor?
The important factor is that they was trying to make the fight with Derevianchenko, but they that's when I thought it was the start of the ending with
mm-mm,
Canelo.
mm-mm,
Hold up.
mm-mm.
They started to make the fact. They try to make that contract with Derevianchenko. He knows what I'm talking about. They tried to make the contract with Derevianchenko, but they wanted Canelo to fork over 5 million to Derevianchenko out of the 35 million he was guaranteed. Am I not lying? I did I did 3 shows on that whole situation and breaking down the whole article I read and everything. Canelo refused to give folk over the 5 million out of his check to Derevianchenko, which that fight went through and didn't make happen. Therefore, that's why the stripping happened of the IBF. Am I lying?
That's okay. I was under the under. I
IBT
was
though. Am I lying, IBT?
I wasn't aware of that scenario you were explaining. I did
What?
understand that there were financial complications. I didn't know they went down like that. But what I understood was that he had a
Yeah.
certain deadline before he was stripped by the IBF, and that Golden Boy did not follow the proper paperwork to get the deadline extended so that they could negotiate with either Derevianchenko or with Andre so that he could unify and then the IBF would, you know what I mean?
The deadline fell through because they
It
was
fell
in the
through a couple
negotiations.
times, but he
They was
didn't
in the
get the extension.
negotiations. They was in the negotiations with the Derevianchenko fight, and the thing was to have out of 35, they wanted whoever's go to boy Canelo, whatever, to give folk over another 5 million to Derevianchenko to make the fight happen. They refused to do that, and that's why the fight fell through. So then the expiration date and all that came into factor because Canelo didn't want to folk over. How it was written by Steve Kim. Steve Kim, he wrote the article because I use him. I know that specifically because I use his article and I used this article in making the video for that because I made a video um, with the article inside the video showing what was said, and so that was the case in that and of boxing scene as well, and so that was the whole case for that. And Canelo said, "No, I won't give up 5 million," and so that fight fell through. And then that's when later on down the timeline, where it's okay, they couldn't get another replacement, and then the IBF stripped them.
Okay, I was under the understanding, and maybe I'm wrong, that they didn't do their part, Golden Boy, as far as putting in the paperwork or whatever to or whatever, as far as to get this IBF uh shit popping, far as for this fight with Derevyanchenko, and then conveniently all of a sudden he was stripped or whatever. So of course, because if you don't meet the deadline, you're going to be stripped, and negotiation fails or whatever, or
It
they didn't
wasn't
come to
stripped till like a month after the negotiations failed. It was like a
right.
month or 2 months after that fight fell through because
Oh,
Canelo didn't want to
okay,
give up fork over the 5 million from his purse
okay,
to
but pay
Derevyanchenko's
attention.
side.
But pay attention though.
I am paying
So
attention.
the belt becomes vacant, and then Triple G and
Dev-
Derevyanchenko fights. So
The
this
Derevyanchenko was
is
Canelo's mandatory.
damn it, Raymond, you won't let me talk.
I do.
So anyway, so think about it. So you know, it sounds like a lot of shady stuff going on because when you think about it, the title became vacant, of course, so they fought for it, and they've been wanting him to fight him because Golden Boy promised that fight, unbeknownst to him. So they say, quote unquote, I don't know. You feel what I'm saying? So something just, I don't know, sound a
I
little
think it's
crazy over
I
there.
don't know if Canelo didn't fork over the 5 million to Derevyanchenko's side, the team and everything to make the fight happen. That's what was written down and it's documented.
Right.
You know what
But
this?
from two different
Just sound
public.
like a bunch of BS, all of it.
No, it sound honestly it sound real to me.
From
Canelo wants
everywhere.
Canelo wants all the money.
Yeah.
It made sense to me. He said, I got a contract. I'm not giving up 5 million. And that's how that happened. Look at the
Ain't nobody
timeline of
say
that.
that
Do
when
the
Floyd
research.
was doing it.
Huh?
Ain't nobody say that when Floyd was doing
What Floyd was doing
it.
what?
Getting all that money.
I ain't saying nothing wrong with Canelo was doing it, but if you want to, I just thought that was the start and the ending. When that happened, it was a big
Yeah,
fuss over that, and I thought then saying "Go to Boy" didn't make the paperwork and all that was a fallback, I believe,
right.
in my opinion. Or they took the grunt off of Canelo and said, "Okay, we'll eat this," then, even though you didn't want to give up 5 mil.
Yeah, this sounds like it
There's
sounds
plenty of articles for that. Y'all can look
right,
that up.
right, but it just sounds like something that could have, should have been worked out. But I think this is just by me listening to Terrence so much. It just sounds like that they made this cat a superstar because without Golden Boy, he would never be where he is today, and that's the facts. That
No,
Floyd
that's
fight,
facts.
right? That Floyd fight got him to
Sorry.
where he is, right?
Right.
And I think with Canelo in his mindset that he's just a fighter's fighter. He doesn't view him he doesn't view himself like this superstar and he needs to fight on certain dates, to maximize his stardom. He just wants to fight and build his legacy, and that could have caused a little wrinkle. And then he saw the contract for 35 million, but we're in a pandemic and there's no live gate, so everybody has to take a little cut back now, and that could have been an issue too of him not really digging the. I'm not taking that cut back. Why? I have a contract, but everybody's taking a cut, baby, because it's times change because of what's going on, and he was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. So he found a way to step out of it, but at the same time we'll see what happens, man. Because just because you're a superstar fighter doesn't mean you know how to
I know,
twist and turn your career and make things bubble.
and we
I
all know.
wonder. I wonder if the zone had the force majeure. clause in their contract as far as like it would apply to things like this as far as the pandemic that's going on. So I don't know, man. It's crazy.
No, after that's for sure. I mean, nobody. They probably did not. It may have not. They may have not had that in there, and they found that as the Canelo team used that as an out. Regardless, understand you got a contract, go buy it. I'm just hey
Sound
man,
like Canelo just wanted his freedom more than
I think
anything.
I agree.
I don't believe people when they say that because I think Canelo always had his freedom. Canelo always had the power to do what he want with his own. They just
That's not true though, because
why you
from what
say
we
that?
were yeah, so let me explain. From what we were hearing, right, when he wanted to fight guys like Billy Joe Saunders and Callum Smith, they were saying that those weren't premier opponents, even though those are guys under the DAZN banner. They were saying premier opponents included Triple G, Oscar, Jorge Masvidal, and Khabib Nurmagomedov, which
That wasn't you. Billy
those
Joe wasn't in that argument though, bro. Billy
yes,
Joe wasn't.
Billy
They
Joe
used
and
that in the art in
I
the
can get the article if you'd like, but
that came upon with the premier opponents after he tried to fight what the fuck his name was.
Avni Yildirim.
Yildirim or somebody else.
Do
There
you
was
really believe these articles? I don't half the time.
well, this is all we have to go off of, isn't it? And he's going to grab one. So I guess he believes it.
Yeah, the way I saw it, the way I saw it, right, in this article, it just seemed like
Who was the dude? It wasn't. Was it Yildirim? What was his record?
Avni Yildirim, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
I did a video on that shit. What's the video I did on that? Go ahead.
Yeah,
Uh,
so from what people were saying, right? People they were saying Canelo requested the vacant title versus Avni Yildirim for the WBC at 168 after David Benavidez had been stripped for missing weight against Angulo, right? But then
Mhm.
later we heard that that was from the WBC. Were saying that they said Canelo requested it, and then you have the Athletic magazine saying that no, he never requested it, and in fact he wanted Callum Smith or Billy Joe Saunders, but DAZN had rejected them on the basis of not being premier opponents, and thus they weren't trying to pay him the full purse, right, of his guaranteed because it says premier opponents. So he said, okay, who are the premier opponents? And they said, well, Triple G. And he said, well, Triple G turned down the fight. Oscar de la Hoya, which makes no sense because Oscar's way past his prime. And he's
I
actually
don't
his
think they said
boss.
they didn't say Oscar De La
I can
Hoya. I
get the
believe they
article if
said
you'd like. I can get the article if you'd like. They said
I think
Yeah,
Oscar.
they
they
mentioned
did say
names.
I.
They said Oscar de la
They
Hoya.
mentioned
They said
UFC
Jorge
names too.
Masvidal, and they said
Yeah,
Khabib Nurmagomedov.
they were talking. You know what? They weren't meaning those people literally. They're talking about people who could draw. You can read between the lines. IBT, you're intelligent. They saying those things to people who could draw big fan bases, right? You know they
Look,
mean they're talking about people that could draw big, huge fan
look,
bases
Myron.
to the
Look,
channel.
Myron.
They're not literally
My,
meaning freaking Oscar De La Hoya and all of that.
Myron. This goes back to earlier what you said. You said that this the zone he was brought in is you know what I'm saying to attract the American audience, right? And to fight the best
It
opponents
was
here
Peter
in
Quigley.
America.
That fight was Peter Quigley. Here's my video on it. It wasn't Yildirim. It was Peter Quigley. Y'all remember that shit, right?
Not all pizza has 18 slices of pepperoni.
Troy Graham? Yes,
Well,
exactly.
Myron,
He picked a freaking
Myron,
pepperoni pizza to fight. And
Myron.
so you read on point. It wasn't okay, hold on. It wasn't Peter, it wasn't Yildirim. It was Peter Quigley. That's who the name he was talking about fighting where the whole shit
I think you mean Jason Quigley, by the way.
dude. It was
Myron.
John Ryder. It was will a matchup with Peter Quigley, John Ryder, or Callum Smith satisfy Dazzit and the diehard Alvarez fans.
The fighter's name is Jason Quigley.
All right, okay. Jason Quigley.
Myron.
But
here we
Myron.
Quigley, Smith, freaking, and it was Quigley, Smith, and John Ryder. And that's where the shit hit the fucking fan. It wasn't Yildirim. I knew it wasn't fucking Yildirim. So it was
Right.
Quickly, and nobody give the fuck or knew who the fuck Quickly was.
Right. But my point is that earlier you stated that they wanted okay, they wanted him to fight the best. We talked about fighting the best. And as far as attracting, uh subscribers to the zone and getting people because he's the face, of the zone or whatever and everything, attracting more people to the zone platform. They sent offers out to several fighters. One was Caleb Plant and one was Jamal, I believe,
Uh huh.
from Golden Boy or whatever. They weren't getting that, so I guess, and they always wanted the Triple G thing because the last two Triple G fights was two big pay-per-views when they were on HBO. You know what I'm saying? So now those things didn't pan out for them, so they was seeing that the other networks wasn't really willing to send their top dogs in there to fight him. So then they come up with this of course Triple G is always in the plans, and Khabib and all these people because they're trying to draw uh subscribers, attract subscribers as well as get money. That's the way I
Absolutely.
see it.
Yeah. That was why they brought Canelo in there to get subscribers.
Right. American subscribers.
Absolutely. That's why it's Dazzling USA. So fighting a Peter Quigley ain't going to cut it. I'm sorry. You're right, IBT. Jason Quigley. A Yildirim ain't going to cut it because the American fan base don't know who these fighters are. So you must bring a Charlo, at least.
My main issue with the attitude that DAZN had in those negotiations, right? I really have an issue with them rejecting the likes of a Jason Quigley or a Avni Yildirim. I agree. I don't think those fights are to the caliber of Canelo, right? I think those are very foregone conclusions. My issue with DAZN and this whole process was they want to talk about premier opponents, and then they're talking about not Callum Smith or Billy Joe Saunders, who I think we can all agree are perfectly acceptable opponents for a guy like Canelo, right? Those guys are both champions. Billy Joe Saunders, very capable fighter, two-division champion. Callum Smith, champion at 168 and Ring Magazine champion, right? He won the WBSS. My issue is that DAZN, I feel, we're not. I don't think they built those guys up properly. I don't think they've been given the proper matchups to showcase their skill. And when
Okay.
Callum Smith did fight an opponent who was pretty, pretty tough, in John Ryder, the fight was much closer than it should have been. And Billy
Okay.
Joe Saunders fought Corceris, and that fight was closer than it should have been before the stoppage. I feel like they should have had opponents that would motivate them to put on impressive performances instead of like what is the name? Endow, right? Endu. They had Callum Smith fight Endu on like the undercard when really he's a champion, right? He's a champion in the sport of boxing, and he's a Ring
Okay.
Magazine champion from the UK. He should be big. He should be a big fighter. But
Okay. That sounds all good. But where are you from? Where are you from, IBD?
I'm from the US.
Okay. All right. What did you just say earlier as far as the list that the zone had as the premier fighters? Say that list again. You said Oscar
Triple
De La
G,
Hoya.
Oscar, Khabib, and Masvidal.
Okay. Now, Khabib in there, humongous following. Masvidal, humongous following, right? Who's the other two you said?
Oscar and Triple G.
Okay. Masvidal here, Triple here. Besides Khabib, who's well known in where? The United States of America. Oscar De La Hoya, well known in the United States of America. Okay, we're looking at the common denominator here. It's called Dads in USA for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got De La Hoya, known in the America, and whoever else you want to throw those lists They're all very, very popular in America. Are any of the guys you just named popular in America?
No, but that's what my issues with the zone. I feel like they could have been promoted better. I feel like those guys can be popular here, but they
But the
just.
zone is only the carrier. They're not the promoters.
You're right. You're right. I think they should have had more. I feel like they should have been pressing Eddie Hearn more. I feel
Eddie
like.
Hearn does not have the base here, and they use so that comes down to a point where you just got one army came on foreign land and trying to plant their flag, and the ones who owned that land just wasn't having it, or they needed more time to really really get themselves in. They may have rushed their game plan, may have rushed too much in before they put certain seeds. They thought, like I said before, they thought American boxing was that dead that the motherfuckers was just going to fold over and give up on it. So, and that just didn't happen. And that's how I feel about that. But regardless, they wanted Canelo to zone, sign Canelo to take over America. They didn't sign him to fight UK fighters. And that is the 100% fact and the projection game plan that they sure they had set when they signed him. You know what I mean? Their projection was to do what? It was the Zone USA, because it wasn't even available in the fucking UK, right? Or Europe. It was only available in the Americas. So why are you going to sign the face of boxing of America on this side to fight UK fighters? So if it's so to be clear to all of you guys, I've been on the Zone side on this whole thing from the beginning. You know what I mean? Since this shit really bubbled up and became the issue. I've been on the Zone side because I think as a businessman. And it's just not logical for a Jason Quigley or a Yildirim or a Murata. It's not logical. The Zone, like, no. You need we trying to get America subs. What the fuck you fighting motherfuckers on this side of the pond for? So I can't blame the Zone for that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna try to harass or get on Golden Boy or Canelo for it, but they knew what it was. I think those motherfuckers was trying to play the Zone. That was my point. They played the Zone. You know what I'm saying? I thought honestly they was playing the Zone, and Oscar was in that whole shit. And they like, okay, we're gonna get this motherfucking money back while they paying, and they looking to play the Zone, to play them. You know what I'm saying? It was dirty business. You know what I mean? Or undercutting business from that one side. To be 100% honest with you, that's how I felt. And so, and now it came to the point, and I think Canelo probably should have took them fights. Now he's going to have to fight pretty deep competition to get the gate and get now. Okay, say America's still locked down for another 6 months. Is Canelo going to make that $35 million a fight on the fucking by himself without a major promotion and no set? That's what I'm asking you. Unless he fight the right fighters.
Who is the right fighter that he could make that much money with now? No one could make that much money right now. But to be honest with you, when you talk about superstars and all that, where Canelo is, I think he shouldn't just be the face of boxing in America.
He's not.
He should be the face of boxing, period. So
He's
okay, well, let me finish. He has a following over here. Well, why not also build him up overseas and make him the face of boxing, period, along with Anthony Joshua, This way you got it like that. You could take him anywhere and make money instead of just saying he has to fight in America to make
because
money.
He's already well known in Europe.
Right.
They're watching all our fights. They don't need to build him up in Europe.
Who's well
known? The Zone. The Zone was trying to build their brand.
Right. But he's never fought in Europe, so you can't really say that he really do anything in Europe because he's never fought there. I mean, it's easy to say because
they're already watching his fights though.
Right. Watching and paying is two different things, as we know, Myron. Watching and paying is two different things.
Pay-per-view
You
is
got to right. But what I'm saying is this: why don't they just build him up as the face of boxing instead of focusing on the U.S.? Because when you only have one stream of income, what happens now when you lose that stream of income and you're running around like crazy? What do you do next?
I don't. But you know what? The bill one. Okay, my whole thing is it shouldn't be one face in boxing. I've said that numerous times.
I agree with you.
It has to be by committee. So it has to be at least one motherfucker out of each division that can bring boxing back to what it has been in the past. You need one. Starting at the light, and we got Teofimo there, and each one up.
Well,
You can maybe skip 140, but at least one at light, one at welter, one in middle, and definitely one at heavyweight.
yeah, well, you got the heavyweight, you got the middle. Teofimo's too early. It's too early. He
Josh
still
was
has
the man. In my opinion, Josh was the man, but he has to fight in America more.
right.
And
It's
he
It's
might be scared of
Teofimo's
that
still
from the
early.
last experience.
It's still early on Teofimo and all that. So I'm impressed with him, yeah, but it's still early. He has to win a little bit more, and he has to look good. And it's also who he fights next that'll dictate, where his career is going and where his status is going. But I just don't get this whole. I don't know if that's my phone or your phone. I don't know. But
Yours?
what with the Kraken?
Yeah, it has to be yours because I'm on my iPad.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get off here quick. I just don't get this whole. Let's just keep him here in America and sell him to Mexicans. We all know he's Mexican.
Yeah, they
Okay,
definitely.
well,
I know. I agree with fighting overseas and everything.
yeah, because Ali wasn't a fighter, wasn't great in America. The reason why he's legendary and he's the most widely known athlete in the world still is because he fought every friggin' where. Let me mute myself and find out what's going on.
And I think that's a great point, by the way. I agree. I would like for guys like Canelo, AJ, just the guys who can sell once they've established themselves in their home country or in America, right? As a draw to explore other countries and have fights there, because I do think that is very helpful and beneficial in expounding upon your star power globally.
IBT, who do you think, in rest of the panel, who you think could be that next star to boxer right now? The potential has the potential to become that superstar.
The
Along with
next,
has to be committee. Who's right now who we have has that potential to
Yeah,
be Canelo or more? Because the thing is, Canelo ain't hit the reaches like that. Mayweather's still above Canelo, and he's retired. So who has that ability to be to
well, okay. Let me jump in here first, brother, and then I'm gonna be quiet. You got a few. You got a few. You said Teofimo, I agree with. Haney with his skills and his charisma. Him, Tank had that, but the fact that he's with Floyd is gonna guide his career safety first, and he's never gonna get that brand. He's gonna make money, sure, and make fights that are safe for him, but he's not going to get to that point where he's like, oh, superstar or legend type thing.
you
And
think?
I
Okay.
don't know anybody else out there, man. I don't know anybody coming up out there. Those two, though, I really believe. And you're not going to like this. If she, and this is a she now I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, Shields. If they handle her right, she could be the next one too. But she hasn't been fighting because she got the skill, she got the talent, and she has the accomplishments to be right there with them. So those are my three.
Give me at least 5.
I wish I could give you 5, but I don't know who else is out there. I mean, I know those 3 because based on my eyes and my passion, those are the 3 that I would definitely pay attention to. Shakur, I haven't. Ryan Garcia, he's good, but he looked shaky to me for some reason. And Shakur, I think out of all of them, is probably the most polished boxer, but you don't see him enough, and he
He's
doesn't
about,
speak,
he's coming
well
though.
enough.
They're about to promote him hard.
Good, and you
I'm
don't
telling
see
y'all,
him
the
enough.
next year in 2021, I'm seeing over even the last month or 2 months, I'm seeing a rave of interviews that Shakur is in, especially once
Good.
he moved up to 130. And We about to see. They're about to push him hard, like the Teofimo. They're pushing him now. I think they did Teofimo. Say we're going Teofimo up there. He gonna move up, and now they're pushing Shakur. I mean, top rank knows what the fuck they're doing. But I see Shakur coming, and he's scary.
Okay, I'm gonna say mine.
Go ahead, please do.
I'm gonna say some different people because this Edgar Berlanga,
Mm,
a lot of people been talking about him, and
yeah.
he's a knockout artist. So they will always talk about we like knockout artists and everything, and
Mm-hmm.
he got all knockouts, and he got like kind of like a swag about him. You know, he's one. Um, Definitely Teofimo. See him going places. Who else?
Linga, Teofimo.
I see Ryan. Well, we'll see with the fight with Luke Campbell, because he has a big fan base, and the girls like him.
The girls, they love him.
Yeah, so he brings that crowd. Who else?
Yeah, his social media
Uh,
following is ridiculous.
right. Uh, I would like for Boots Ennis to get more and Virgil to get more attention. Those two, but they're kind of like low key, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Definitely Haney. Haney has a lot of swag and everything. He's talked about a lot. Who else? Far as the heavy, I'm trying to think of a future heavyweight that the boys, he's making a lot of noise, but he's not like real vocal or anything. So, but I
Dubois.
see him, huh?
Yeah, Dubois.
Yeah, Dubois. He I see him going places, but he's quiet. He's not really like a, but I could see him maybe being a future champ. Who else? Trying to think. Elvis is
I'm
another
talking
one.
about more like the future champ. I'm talking about like
Future star.
one of those motherfuckers that carry the sport. Five guys that can carry the sport of boxing to past heights.
Tank. I'm
That
gonna
have
say
that
Tank.
that has that potential. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
whether they
Tank.
whether they lose a couple of times or not, I mean, just have the ability to carry it. Well, to grab the excitement of the fans, and that really.
Then
And
I would
I'm
have
not
to
just
say
going off of
Theo.
and I'm definitely not just going off of freaking charisma. Charisma perhaps is up there, but it's out of the five elements or character. I mean, five essentials. It's like five. Charisma is listed at five. I'm talking about motherfuckers who are going to be like throw miraculous performances in fights. That's probably number one to me. That's just like the ability, and when you watch them, you were like, God damn, how they move and how they perform will inspire another generation of fighters. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right.
you searching for the five deadly venoms of boxing. That's what you're searching for,
Those
basically.
motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Who got that? Like
Yeah.
the skill has to be number one.
You want
You
the
know what I mean?
toad, the scorpion, the centipede, and all of that
So,
going on.
so
But
you mean
look,
U.S. boxers or just all over?
Huh?
You mean just U.S. boxers or
No,
all
all
over?
over. I'm not prejudiced or discriminating. They're everywhere.
Right.
In a way, it's one of them for me.
Oh, he already in the throes of it.
Yeah, but we want to see him. I'm talking about really. I mean, his popularity is great in Japan, but to become that in America, I mean, like really, really reach that. He got probably about five more. I mean, some more really tough fights that we need to notice. He done beat Maloney. That's great, but in a way, it's possibility. I'm talking about worldwide, global. You know,
Does he speak English?
I don't know. No,
I
I
don't
haven't.
believe so.
See, that's going to be an issue there. Maybe.
his
Well,
fifth speaking
well,
was
right now Pacquiao didn't speak good either. Pacquiao didn't. I bet he does though, because he's Japanese, and I'm sure that's one of the primary languages they learn in school. So I'm pretty sure he does speak English, and I don't know how well, but I'm pretty sure he does. But I'm sure it's no less than what Pacquiao spoke when he came,
Right.
and Pacquiao became a global. I mean, transcending boxer. So that's what I'm talking about. And
Elvis is good.
who?
He's Elvis. Was it Elvis Rodriguez? I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What class is he at?
Elvis Rodriguez competes in the, I want to say, he's a young kid. He's like 24. I want to say either lightweight or super lightweight.
Okay.
But he's big. He's big for the division. It's probably super lightweight.
They all started at lightweight.
I thought he was. Wait a minute. Who's fighting Joshua Greer this weekend?
Joshua Greer. I don't know his opponent.
All right, Myron, real quick, and everybody on the panel. I'm gonna jump off, man. I gotta get some sleep before I go to work. But I wanted to thank you for coming on with the whole early morning booty call boxing talk and all that. And also, if you don't mind, I'm gonna drop the names of two catering companies which are black owned. One of them is in your area, Myron. Is Abrams Catering in DC, right? He's on Facebook, so you can check him out. I've done some business with him. He'll come to you. You just got to order the right amount of food, and then if you're in the Early Heights area, which is in Severna Park, Glen Burnie, Maryland, today, Heavenly Hot Dogs. They do more than hot dogs. They'll be at the volunteer firehouse.
It's funny that you brought that up. I've had the
right.
When we had the Food and Boxing podcast, I spoke with Corey earlier tonight. I was hanging with him, the owner of Pimento Grill.
Right.
My partner. And I ran it by him. He said, yeah, I want to do it.
Okay, well, when do you want to do it?
He said he want to do it. He said, well, since it's the COVID and everything,
right,
they have to do it. They have to run it on a day off.
Okay, cool. But that's on your side of the world, right?
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah. Okay, so, well, you have my number, man.
We was hanging out at the bar. He's my partner. A good friend. So I was like, yo, Corey, my man want to do the Food and Boxing joint. He thought like. And he's Jamaican, and you got the Jamaican joint. He's like, shit, let's do it. And I was like, all right, great.
Honestly, if he wants to be honest, he could put me to the test and put me in the kitchen, man, while the show going on, and I'll cook up a thing or two,
Well, I don't know if he's gonna let you do all that.
I know that. I'm showing off, but like I said, right?
Abrams, you have. We're going. Hey, one of the main dishes we're gonna put on the show is the Rasta pasta.
That's easy work for me. That's easy work.
Not like his though. This shit is crazy.
Really? Challenge right there. That sounds like a challenge to me. I take on any Ross challenge. Anybody.
He does his jerk turkey on all the Thanksgivings. You heard of that one?
Yeah, I was supposed to be doing a jerk turkey and a jerk rabbit for somebody, man.
He caters them. He does a whole bunch of them.
So I know, and they cost a pretty penny. Let me tell you.
Like, yeah, $70 for one.
That's actually a decent price.
Yeah, that's what he charges.
That's very. I might have to hit brother up if it's $70. I've been seeing $90.
Yeah,
a jerk turkey. That sounds spicy.
No, Lisa, it's good. Turkey
is good. Lisa, I get pictures. I show them to you.
Lisa.
They garnish quite well too with different flowers and.
Yes, and Lisa, you could make a honey. Add a little. I'm giving you a little secret. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell Myron. You can add a little honey to your jerk, and let me tell you something. It's just delicious. It's just delicious. The catfish. So, but I'm gonna jump. I don't know what's going on with my phone, but I got to get this sleep. But like I said, Abrams Catering, Myron. If you call that brother, you can tell him my name, Troy from Baltimore. He'll take care of you. Heavenly Hot Dogs. I've never had their food, but I'm gonna try them today. And they do more than hot dogs. They'll be in the Early Heights volunteer firehouse parking lot today. So I'm gonna try them out today, and I'm going. Keep doing what you're doing. Let me know. When you want to come.
Parking lot. Where is that in Baltimore?
Early Heights is in Severna Park.
Huh?
Early Heights is in Severna Park.
Well, okay, that's around the outskirts.
No, that's like you're coming from Annapolis. Route 2, you can ride that in right to Severna Park. I don't know if you know where Arnold, Maryland is and all that stuff, but it's not too far from Annapolis.
I guess you kind of, you talking about Anne Arundel. You talking about Anne Arundel, Maryland.
Right.
Maryland Live.
Actually, it's closer to Annapolis.
Okay, so maybe closer to me than Anne Arundel. Okay.
Yeah. So trust me. And then you can get the history of Early Heights because all that land is owned by black folk, which is the ex-wife family and them, and you could get a lot of history and.
Send me their number. I ain't doing nothing tomorrow. I might run up there.
Is in your inbox. I'm gonna send it to you one more time, then I'm gonna kick you in the behind. All right.
Well, I do have to do some things tomorrow, but I'm have a lot of. I'm open for the rest of the week. I'm
Yeah,
chilling,
and I got to work the next 4 days.
focusing on
But
Crawford and Brooke because I'm excited for this fight.
okay. But like I said, definitely let me know what you want to do with your brother Corey, and I will come. I'll take the Mark train and go from there and meet him at wherever his spot is, and go from there. I haven't been traveling lately because of the COVID, but you could always meet me at if he's in DC, I can come to the DC station or.
Yeah, it's in DC. Just whenever you get there, just call me and I'll pick you up.
That's cool. All right. I'm sorry for disrupting the show with food. Lisa, try that. I mean, you sound like you would cook, and you sound like you would cook. I don't know what sound like cook means because I'm just trying not to be insulting, but you sound like you would cook. So just get some jerk sauce, or you can make your
I'm
own.
not a cook like that, but I know how to
You can't cook, Lisa Bells?
No, I didn't say I didn't know how to cook. I'm saying
Okay.
I never made a jerk turkey. I never even heard of jerk turkey before.
It's good.
Okay, well, excuse me for being forward, right? I mean, I'm sure you're married and you have someone special in your life, but I can send you the recipe because I have a recipe for jerk whatever. I just don't want to come off like I'm being too forward or something or stepping out of line,
Right.
Right. Even though I am.
But, it's all good, my brother. It's all good.
Yeah, but Myron could get you in touch with me. He knows my inbox and all that. But let me go. I'm going back to sleep and I'm babbling right now. So, all right. Peace out, y'all.
All right,
Toy. Have a good night, man.
Yeah, have a good one.
Some pugilism.
Peace. Thank you, Lisa. Peace and pugilism. Y'all funny.
That's your catchphrase, Myron.
Peace and pugilism. You know what? Yeah, that's gonna be on t-shirts. I keep saying it so nobody be trying to steal the shit. Got a hashtag that shit everywhere. I have already.
Yeah.
But damn. Okay, man. Finishing up. All right, let's finish it up on the fights coming up. Brooke Crawford. What you calling it at IBT? What you calling it a Texan?
I guess I'll go first. I think Crawford is gonna stop him. I think his KO streak at welterweight continues. Don't think Brooke will be able to go down to 147 healthy, and I think Crawford's in his prime, unlike Brooke. Stoppage, late, mid-late.
Late, mid-late.
Bam.
So you talking about like 9 to 10? I mean 8 to 11th round.
Anywhere from 8 through 12.
Bam.
Brooke stoppage.
No, Crawford stoppage.
I mean Crawford stoppage. You don't think the hydration going to help Brooke that much, huh?
Yeah, and I think making it at all hurts him.
Got you. Oh shit. Okay. So he's saying 8 to 12. So we're gonna go with the median. That's 10th round. Around the 10th round stoppage for Crawford. That's what IBT. Texan, when you calling it, champ?
I got Crawford by stoppage in the 10th round, but I think it's going to be super competitive. And I can see Crawford getting hurt, maybe knocked down in this fight from an uppercut.
Real.
Yep. The same uppercut that landed on Golovkin is probably going to end up hitting Crawford, and he's going to be on wobbly legs. Like, kind of similar to what happened in the Gamboa fight, but I think Crawford edges it out.
Oh, man.
You still think Crawford will get hurt, but still come back and stops him?
Yeah.
Okay.
And some people will say that it's going to be controversial and all that other stuff,
Crawford, one of my favorites, so I'm like, you got me shaking in my boots.
I think it's going to be highly competitive too. I've been saying that for the last week now, or so more.
The Texan, you got my teeth chattering. Oh man.
Why? Oh, I think it's going to be competitive too. At least early. Yeah, I equated it all to how um, if Brooks is really, really back up against, I mean, if Brooks performing better on the road going for a title than he did at home, and the health of his eye, overall health of his, which he fought 3 fights since then, and I ain't hearing nothing. No, haven't had no problems in these guys, but these guys aren't of the caliber of Crawford, of course, of DeLuca, and the other guys he fought, the other 2 guys he fought. But
Yeah.
I'm still just impressed with what he did to Crawford. I mean, to Porter. And some are like, this dude is nasty. And his favorite punch is a right hand straight down. I was just like, this can be no hydration clause. Yeah, he's shrinking down, but he could probably get, I'm like, okay. I'm really interested to see how this fight play out. But the meanness of Crawford's got me thinking like, I think he'll probably weather through anything because Crawford is mean. And I don't think Kell is as mean as Crawford if he's mean at all. Because Crawford's going most of his punches he's going to throw is going to have conviction behind him. That's one thing I noticed by Crawford. And other than Kell, a lot of punches he throw seem not to have everything behind him. So I was like, he can't waste no punches versus Crawford. But he's that much. Crawford got the reach advantage, at least about 3 inches, and
Yeah.
but Kell is just that much stronger and big. I mean, Kell is strong.
That's what you. Yeah, he's strong, but I told you Crawford is real strong.
Yeah, but that Kell is strong. I feel what
Yeah, I know.
but to go up to
But
160,
Crawford know how to clinch and tie you up too.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
Like
especially in
like
Jeff
Kel
Horn
did.
time.
Yeah, like Kel did to Sean Porter. Crawford is strong.
he's a wiry strong. Yes,
Seeing how he ran, you seen how he threw Jeff Horn around like a rag doll?
yeah, that was Jeff Horn.
Yeah, I know, but Jeff Horn is strong too. But he
Yeah, but
just
it's
don't
Jeff.
have
Yeah,
no
but that's Jeff Horn.
technique. Yeah. No, I
That's
got you.
that. That's that wrestling background that Crawford used to be in.
Oh yeah, true. He was a wrestler. Because I think his father was a wrestler, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. That's why I was telling you, Myron, don't I mean the Bud Crawford gotta be careful of he just gotta pick his shots wisely and not try to always want to get back.
The thing is,
Because he can get hurt like that.
he's going to be able to hit Kell quite often because Kell defense is okay. He doesn't move his head much, but you know he does get susceptible to the jab a lot. When I watched the fight earlier today with him and Earl Spence, Earl was hitting his jab on Kell quite a bit, and
Right.
I was thinking like, okay, then what might Crawford do with his capacity? And I'm still like figuring that out. But
Right. See, I think Crawford don't need to try to always try to get back, Just pick his shots wisely, but that's just not Crawford. Not saying that he don't pick his shots wisely, but he just, he can be susceptible to like you said, an uppercut or
Yeah. hmm
that straight right.
that straight right is gonna be nasty. I want if Kell start landing a lot of those shits, we can expect Crawford to make an adjustment. You know what I mean, somewhere. But Kell is like surgical with that shit. I have noticed that shit. His straight right hand is his best punch, and so I'm like, okay, let's see how that works out. And we know
Right,
it hits a lot. Crawford will he don't mind, you know what I mean, getting in a scuffle in a little
right.
short brawls.
Maybe
So
he need to incorporate a little more defense, moving that head. Not that he don't move his head, but moving a certain way where you don't get, you know,
uh-huh.
of get the don't get the full extension of those hits. So you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Well, I think Crawford. Why I'm really picking Crawford for the most part, is I'm questioning Kell Brooks' toughness. But he may show something again different, healthy, and may feel he has something to prove since everybody left him. So if he can go in the well and pull out another, I mean, his eternal fortitude, he can pull that out and go in the well, really pull out something, then I think it's okay. This is going to be a very, very, very interesting. But just going off going off the going off the Kell Brook fight, knowing that he 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. I can only imagine, how his head must have felt with every punch, knowing he had perhaps a fucking broken socket or rebroke the right socket after the left one versus Triple G, however it went. Either way, I can only imagine how that shit felt with each punch or whatever, and he couldn't see it, was hurting. But the toughness, we're gonna have to see it. But he showed it still in that fight, coming back in the 10th round. He was really hurt after he took the knee. So I don't know, but Crawford is mean, and I think I'm picking Crawford to win the fight. I just don't know. I don't know if it's going to be a decision or him a stoppage. That's where I really like. I don't know.
Yeah, well, if Crawford shuts him out, man, and then like stops him late, I'd be very impressed. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think he shuts him out. No way in fucking hell. But no, I think Kell Brook is going to have his moments, without a doubt. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I don't think it's going to be It's not going to be no shutout. Not no way in fucking hell. I think Kell Brook is too good. I really, really do. So, it's going to come, I think, again to the internal fortitude of Kell Brook. Ultimately, how this fight go and the meanness of Crawford. That's going to be the war. It's going to be the will versus will, and I think Crawford is going to win that part. And it's just like, again, the mind state of Kell is what I'm like trying to study, figure out, and where every time he talks and everything, I'm really like paying attention to everything he says, tones, and all of that to see what really his mindset truly coming in is going to be if is he really damaged goods, or is he really like these motherfuckers is really sleeping on me? You know what I mean? They're underestimating me. They think I'm done. That's what I'm trying to pick up from him. And so when I really get a notch on this one, I'm going to really like put my bet in because I'm gonna bet on this fight, but I don't know how I'm going to bet on it yet.
Yeah, personally, I wouldn't bet on this one. I don't know. Even though I just told you my prediction, I have some strange feeling that either I have some strange feeling that either Brooke will overperform, kind of like what Texan said, and people will judge Crawford for it, or I think Crawford will underperform. I think either way it ends in judgment, regardless of who wins or
Yeah,
how they
pretty
win.
much.
I'm favoring Crawford to win by stoppage, right? But it could be points, and I feel like if it goes to points, people will criticize him for that.
And that's the fucked up thing is they shouldn't. That's what I've been fighting and arguing for the last on a couple of lives for the whole fucking week is how you gonna fucking knock him for a motherfucker who's 39-2, who only lost to Gennady Golovkin and Earl Spence Jr. And you put the context in how that went, that chain of events, how the fuck is you going to knock Crawford for however he wins that fight? It's no way possible. You feel me? And we even went on it earlier in this live about that. This is a tremendous win. And no matter how Crawford win, in my book, this would be a tremendous win. It'd be a great win. It for real. So that's how I felt, and I'm gonna stand on that, and I'm gonna say that during the live when I'm hitting the blow by blow, after the live, like y'all niggas is tripping. They're just trying to discredit anything either Crawford fight, the rhetoric and the propaganda and the swaying the belief in the minds of the people. This is a hell of a task and a great fight for Crawford. I mean, I don't see how you can see any other fucking way versus Kell Brook. You know what I mean? But they always try to denote the British fighters anyway. But I'm like, well, this British fighter came over and beat the shit out of Sean Porter. So throw that shit out the fucking window. Because, like I said, Spence, Garcia, and Thurman didn't do it. And if they are the best in the welterweight division in this country, then where does Kell Brooks sit then? You know what I mean? So I'm using that. I was like, so I'm gonna be pushing that back. I ain't gonna think I'm gonna give Crawford all the credit he deserved for the win if he wins, and I'm gonna give Kell Brook all the credit he deserved if he wins. So that's I'm not playing into that crap.
Yeah, I have a question though, man. Like, is this Crawford's last fight on his contract with like ESPN, Top Rank, or what? That entire
No, I don't
thing?
know. IBT know more about that shit definitely.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not entirely sure. I can check right now if it's easily available, but I'm not very. I don't know
And is
about
there
that. I
testing?
kind of hope it is. There
I
is
haven't even
testing.
heard. I think I've heard a little bit about it, but not much. But I heard it's been really, not a very loud issue, but it's been a small issue people have been talking about.
Because if this is his last fight on the contract and there's no testing, man, a lot of stuff is gonna be going against Crawford, man, with that belt. WBO. Just saying, man, that's my impression and my belief.
Say it again.
Like, if this is his last fight on that contract with a Top Rank and that entire whole side of the street, quote unquote, and there's no testing or anything like that, a lot could be going against him, especially with that WBO title. That's my belief. That's
Yeah,
my suspicion.
because it's his last fight.
Yeah.
What you think, Bob
And
Burnley
there's
going to
there's
protect him?
major talks of him going to the PBC. That's why too. Just throwing that out there.
People probably would make that up. I guess boxing politics and all that shit, putting shit out there. But so you think Bob Arum ain't gonna protect him?
I'm pretty sure he's pretty interested in keeping that WBO on you know on his side.
Yeah.
The plot thickens, huh?
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
This is gonna come down who won us the most.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so you talking about testing and everything. What are you trying to implicate? Kell Brook gonna come here fucked up?
Man, it's a lot of funny stuff, man, going on.
Man, no, we ain't.
That
Nah,
WBO never done
I think
without
it's
a
gonna be a
fight,
clean
man.
fight.
Like, yeah.
Nah, I think it's gonna be a very, very clean fight. And there's gonna be no issues and everything. I don't want to mix up. I don't want to convolute. I mean, yeah.
I
I
still
don't want
think Crawford will fight through it, man, no matter what, because I believe in Crawford, to be honest.
yeah. I don't think Kell needs that. And I don't think definitely Crawford don't need it. I don't even want to. Yeah, I don't want to spoil the talks with that type of shit. Even though it's a heavy reality, But yeah, no, I don't think I'm not even going to play into that shit because it's not fair to either fighter. Unless something comes, then boom. But until that, no, that's just something. But man, we've hit I went 3 hours and 43 minutes on a late night, and it's 4:30. And so in the UK it's 9:25. But all of us here in America, none of y'all must gotta go to work tomorrow. Y'all motherfuckers is like high flyers.
No, I do this. I do this all the time, man.
You
I've
do?
got.
You
Yeah.
work nights or something?
No.
You're like, no. Shit. Zombie T, you don't work.
What's up?
So you don't work.
No.
Oh, just strictly publications, the news, and the media?
No, I've got classes.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. So you're home with mom and dad and everything going to school?
Yeah, all my classes are online, so I mean.
How old are you, IBT? You like 24?
No, I'm 18.
You 18?
Yeah.
Where you at?
California.
Okay, gotcha. What draws you to boxing, bro?
It's sick.
Huh?
It's sick.
Oh, you love it?
Yeah, it's really cool. Um, I don't know. I guess just the heart displayed.
Got you. Did you box yourself?
Yeah, a little bit, but not like anything pro, nothing like that.
Will you some workout, spend time in the gym?
Yeah.
That's what's up. No family in boxing?
No, but my family watches boxing.
Okay, got you. What about you, Texan?
Man, I love just fighting in general, man. You know, the science of it, not not just like pummeling someone's head in, but I read books on it, The Art of War, read so many I read a lot of books on it, watch a lot of movies. I'm a fighting nerd basically, man.
UFC and or boxing, whatever, MMA?
I'm gradually getting into trying to learn more about MMA, but boxing, I need to understand the fundamental of fighting. And I see boxing like that,
Got you.
before I move on to the next variety.
How old are you, bro?
I'm 24.
Okay, so 18, 24. Miss Lisa Bales was 26.
Huh? Yeah, right.
26, Miss Lisa Bales. Hot and
hmm
vibrant, 26, vibrant thing, a vibrant thing. Yeah. Me, 25. We gonna cut this off tonight. We did a long run. I wonder who
Oh
the hell
yeah.
is watching this besides us four. It's been like 9, 12 people just coming in. They've been steady. They listening. I wonder if
That's what's
that's.
up.
I'm thinking that's some people in the UK for sure.
Yeah.
Likely.
Yeah, they watching like, oh, Myron Magnus, what is he talking? I wonder who they work for. IFL TV. That might be
And
Johnny
hopefully not the
Nelson.
zone.
It's probably Johnny Nelson. Somebody from over there watching. Look, they watch, bro. Y'all would be amazed, surprised how many are watching us and taking talking points. And
Oh
then
yeah,
with
I've heard it, man. I've heard it on their broadcast and all that.
yeah, man, they hearing talking points and everything, and they saying what people are saying, boom, boom, and we hearing this, and people say this. They're watching closely, which is good. We should be flattered. But yeah, man, I am going out because I look like I'm only gonna get about shit. I'm supposed to go. I gotta do a few run some errands tomorrow. God, I did not expect we run until 4 o'clock, but I did expect it too. I said I would. I'm happy I did it. That fucking Red Bull worked really well. But I'm taking it in, brothers and sisters. Y'all been awesome on the panel for the last hour, 2 hours to be honest.
No doubt.
Adam Neal said, Kell Brook, hold up. Adam Neal said, Kell Brook plus 900. I have to bet that. I'm a Crawford fan, but that's my guy. I want him to win. But plus 900 is a great value. Yeah, you're damn right. Bet 100, you get what, 900 back, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Can't beat that shit. Who's betting on the who's betting people on the panel?
Not myself. Although I would like to. That'd be fun.
I'm
Nah,
thinking
man.
about making my debit, man, against with Plant Canelo. Thinking about it.
What's the odds in that?
I gotta look that up.
They're not out yet, I don't think.
Oh yeah, it's too early. That makes sense. So plus 900 Kell. Oh shit.
That's pretty wide. That is very good value.
You ain't lying. I'll put 100 on that. Probably two.
The only issue with that $200 bet, right, is you have to have Kell Brook actually win.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna go to Bet Plus and look at all the spreads or whatever.
Yeah. And also, I agree with Adam Neal. He said I would suggest taking Joe Joyce at plus 330 against Dubois. I would too. That's actually very, very good value because thing is, That's a true 50-50 fight, and for a 50-50 fight to have the odds of plus 330, why not, right?
Yeah. When is your choice? Hold up. Did the ball your choice fight? When is it going off?
That fight's going on. Is it later at the end of this month?
Okay, that could change, but yeah.
Yeah, it could change. I'm pretty sure it's going on, like 27th, 28th, something like that. I forget.
Gotcha. 28th. Okay, so that's gonna be like the same weekend Tyson fights fucking Jones.
Oh yeah,
Or Ryan and Luke. That's December 5th. Yeah, Tyson and Jones is that same weekend.
yeah. Tyson and Jones, same weekend as Joyce Dubois. Next weekend after that, Spence versus Danny Garcia. That same day, you got Luke Campbell versus Ryan Garcia, and then the week after that, they're saying Canelo versus Plant, which is insane.
Yeah, they're doing it at the right time. It's about time they hit the. Yeah, this is what boxing needs. All of this coming right now. Adam
Yeah.
Neal, what's up to you, champ? All right, brothers. Thank you for the show. I'm cutting it out, bro. Had Pascal plus 1,000 over Marcus Brown last year. And J-Rock plus 600 over Hurd. Damn. You hit them all? Adam Neal? Adam Neal's making money on this shit. Okay, I'm going to listen to Adam Neal a little bit. Because I'm not really a betting person. But I bet every now and then. But all right, Miss Lisa Bells, you have a wonderful night, beautiful. Sweet
You
dreams.
too. You too. Everybody have a wonderful night.
No
All right,
doubt.
take care.
Yeah, have a good one. Peace.
Jackson, peace out.
All right,
All right.
peace and
All right,
pugilism.
BT, I see you tomorrow. Probably on D Jefferson joint. You be on that joint tomorrow, probably, huh?
Yeah, probably.
I see you over there, champ. Y'all be easy. Peace and pugilism. Thank you, everybody. This is Boxing Logics United signing off. I'm going to take 1,000 plus on Pulev. Shit. Yeah, that might sound like something. Okay, I'm out, hun.
All right. Take care.
Take care, honey.
All right. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.